Radio. We are coming to you live from number 42 Exchange Lot, Scoover, Trinidad and Tobago. You can also catch us on YouTube at RCLU975 and Facebook. It's a great morning to wake up to another day of life and blessings to serve your purpose. Be that spark of light, love and joy wherever you go. Take a moment and prepare yourself to begin this day with peace, love and positive energies. Let U975 FM Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio be your companion, keeping you informed and entertained. Remember to observe all health protocols, save yourself and help save others. I am Uma, inviting you now to join me for your daily horoscope, brought to you with the kind compliments of Jyoti's Puja Store of Main Road Chase Village for all your puja needs. Let's see what the stars have in store for you today. Aries. Make time today to invest in yoga, swimming or meditation. This will help to clear your mind and ease the tension which have been weighing you down. Your fragrance is jasmine. Taurus, it's a great time to upgrade in education. Follow your heart and choose a course which you have been thinking about for so long. Your fragrance is sandalwood. Gemini, it's time to change your house color. With Christmas approaching, you may want to start painting early, and who knows, the paints may be cheaper at this time. Your fragrance is basil. Cancer, you can't count on an old friend to help you. You need to put your personal feelings aside and call that person, and believe it or not, help is waiting on the next end. Your fragrance is bergamot. Leo, money equals shopping, Leo, but try to save your pennies as you may need them soon to purchase baby gifts or just gifts for your loved ones for Christmas. Your fragrance is cinnamon. Virgo, keep an eye on your valuables. If you have them careless, try to secure them, especially if you have visitors at your home. Your fragrance is chamomile. Libra, make time to rest. You need it more than ever as you have been overworking yourself lately. Sleep in a quiet space with some scented fragrance while you sleep. Your fragrance is geranium. Scorpio, it's a great time to cook your childhood meal and share it with your parents and your home circle. Let tradition, love, and good eats prevail. Your fragrance is lemongrass. Sagittarius, stay cool, calm, and collective. That's exactly what will make you stand out. You're a great team player, and these traits will make you an even better one. Your fragrance, orange. Capricorn, you love to travel, but you are very sad that you cannot do so. Don't be. Make the time and look at some videos or join friends virtually and reminisce about your previous trips. Your fragrance, spearmint. Aquarius, design, fragrance, colors, and beauty makes you happy. It's time to redecorate and make your space into your comfort and likeness. Enjoy doing so. Your fragrance, lavender. Pisces, you enjoy giving love and receiving love, but sometimes you do not get the love you expect from many after all the efforts and favors. Fear not, unexpected love may just show up. Your fragrance, rosemary. And your quote for today: live the life of your dreams. Be brave enough to live the life of your dreams according to your vision and purpose instead of expectations and opinions of others. And that's your horoscope for today, brought to you with the kind compliments of Jyoti's Puja Store of Main Road Chase Village for all your puja needs. Join me tomorrow same time on U97.5 FM Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio for your daily horoscope. And if it's your birthday, happy birthday to you. May God richly bless you. And if it's your anniversary, happy blessed anniversary from the management and staff of U97.5 FM Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. I am Irma, leaving you with a spark of light, love, peace and blessings, and a positive day ahead. back to Kenrick Jagannath for UTalk.
Well, thank you very much, Uma, for today's horoscope. And note that you can join Uma again tomorrow for another horoscope feature, coming to you with the compliments of Jyoti's Puja Store. Let's go to some messages this morning, and when I come back, we'll take a look at what are some of the major stories as published in today's edition of the Newsday newspaper. You're with the morning program, the most interactive morning program on the airwaves of Trinidad and Tobago, with yours truly, Kenrick Jagannath. And yes, I'll be taking you until the hour of 9 this morning.
Jyoti's Puja Store is your one-stop puja store for all puja, wedding and cremation materials. Also available books, mithai and murtis made to order. Visit Jyoti's Puja Store today and be greeted with the kindest and most courteous staff with best prices and secured parking. Jyoti's Puja Store located at 542 Southern Main Road, Chase Village, Shiguanas. Contact 671-3849.
A&S Hardware and the General Contractors Limited of 107 Bonaventure Road in Gasparillo for all your hardware materials from foundation to finish. Not forgetting all your general contracting needs. We have it all at A&S Hardware and the General Contractors Limited, located at 107 Bonaventure Road in Gasparillo. Just call Tiki Ali at 650-2180.
A&S Hardware are wholesalers and retailers of plywood, an assortment of lumber, galvanized pipe, hollow section and steel. Customers can enjoy special prices on white pine and pitch pine doors.
We shopping at Durban Supermarkets. Hey, come down. We'll value at Durban Supermarket. Shop now at Durban Supermarket. Come to Durban Supermarkets. We got the best prices for your pockets. Get real value for your money. Durban Supermarket treats you like family. Nothing overpriced, it's guaranteed for sure. Save big at Durban and shop even more. Real value to Durban Supermarket. We got the best prices for your pockets. Take advantage of unbelievable deals at Durban Supermarket, number 28 Foster Road in Sangre Grande. Durban Supermarket and Investment Limited, giving you real value for your money.
नबियों के सरदार मोहम्मद नबियों के सरदार
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May the peace and the blessings of Almighty Allah be upon each and every one of you. My name is Shazad Ali, and here's an invitation to join me every weekday morning 5 o'clock for the program Teachings of Islam right here on U97.5 FM. Assalamu alaikum.
U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio is now on Facebook. Like us, follow and share our page. We'll be sharing the latest news, tips and much more. You can also view what's happening in our studio. Find us on YouTube and subscribe to our channel at RCL U975.
To you, Newsday Classifieds. Take Value Optical to be your partner.
I do.
I now pronounce free eye test from Value Optical for Newsday Classified customers. Call the Newsday Classified reps for more information. You may now kiss the bride.
Yes, Yes, indeed, and a very good morning in Trinidad and Tobago, and thank you very much for choosing 97.5 FM Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio as your radio of choice. Note that we are powered by RCL Communications Network. The time in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, it's 22 minutes here past the hour over 6 o'clock, and that time check came to you through the kind courtesy of Radio 975 FM. Hot like pepper. Good morning, people. Good morning. A very beautiful morning indeed. When I say beautiful, it's a bit cool this morning. Yes, it was raining as I left Princestown this morning to get into our studio here at the Exchange Lots in Couva. You know, cooling down the temperature a bit because for the last couple of days or so, we've been experiencing scorching heat. So it's welcoming showers today. So, but according to the Met Office, we can have a very fair day today. But there's the expectation of showers in various localities. So whatever you're doing, take care of yourself, especially to the motorists outside there, especially those of you who are applying the north-south route. Yes, the road is wet this morning, people. So take care. Ease your foot off the accelerator, so to speak. Let me say a very special welcome to our international audience streaming live with us this morning. Good morning and welcome to today's edition of the morning program, UTalk 975. Note that you can get into our program when I open the lines at 636-7547, 227-5739. We are also on WhatsApp at 378-4975, and you can catch us live on YouTube at RCLU975 and also on Facebook. Welcome, people. Good morning and thanks for choosing us. But first up, let me bring you up to speed as to what are some of the major stories as published in today's edition of the Newsday newspaper. In today's edition, 48 pages in total. And of course, the major story, the story on everyone's lips this morning, this story would have attracted the attention of all media houses, and the 3 daily newspapers would have had a banner headline concerning this matter. Abusive relationship ends in murder. Mom of 2 chopped. A very graphic photograph indeed published in today's edition of the Newsday, showing Bina Kanchan consoling her weeping mother Davika yesterday at the family's home in Penal, hours after Davika's other daughter Rishma was chopped to death by a male relative while on her way to work. A very gruesome and tragic story indeed. And just to note that yesterday I journeyed down to the Penal area and had discussions with my very good friend Larry Sami, who visited the home and actually had a conversation with the victim's mother. It's something which we will talk about later. So good work there, Larry. And us here at 975 would have been the first media house to post this video and report it on that matter on our Facebook page. So congratulations to Larry and all those who were instrumental in posting that video, keeping you abreast, keeping you up to speed as to all of the developments taking place in Trinidad and Tobago. Abusive relationship ends in murder. Mom of 2 chopped. The story is saying on page 3, 25-year-old Rishma Kanchan did not have an escape route or a chance of survival on Tuesday when an estranged male relative ambushed and chopped her as she was making her way to work in Penal. A fatal blow with a cutlass almost severed the head of the mother of 2. Meantime, the suspect is now warded at hospital under police guard. Commissioner of Police, I'll be working while on vacation. Yes, reports are telling us of a release from the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service is stating that Gary Griffith, well, he will be going on 1 month of vacation. He'll be vacationing in Ireland. But he said he'll be working while in Ireland. We'll be following that story because in my interview with the commissioner on Wednesday, he would have spoken about a number of challenges which the TTPS is facing at this time. On to some other major stories in today's edition. Government betraying OWTU. And those who are loyal and regular listeners to 975 would note that I would have spoken to a number of stakeholders concerning Patriotic's advance to operate and run the Petrotrin refinery. I would have spoken to Anil Ramjet, who is the president of the Gasparillo Tabaki Chamber of Commerce, and he said it would be very much comforting if the authorities of the day can see how best they can get this refinery going, because the fence line communities in and around the Point-de-Paix area, they are suffering as a result of the closure of Petrotrin and the refinery about a little more than a year now. To this end, opposition MP Dr. Rudal Munilal has accused the Dr. Rowley administration of fooling and discarding the Oilfield Workers Trade Union in the latter's quest to acquire the Point-de-Paix refinery. The Prime Minister said on Monday, unless government's negotiations with the OWT's company, Patriotic Energies and Technologies, are completed by the end of the month, that deal will be dead. Dr. Rowley also said new options will have to be sought. Well, I alerted you to that matter yesterday, and I did indicate to you that Dr. Rowley would have given, or rather, I would have said emphatically that if the OWTU do not sign and make a commitment, well, then the government of the day will have to look at other options. Patriotic, the only option. Patriotic Energies and Technologies Company Limited has said it is ready to bring to a close its acquisition of the Guaracara refinery. One of the directors, Ozzy Warwick, said Patriotic's acquiring the assets and restarting the refinery is in the best interest of Trinidad and Tobago. Later on in the program, I'll try to get in touch with Ozzy Warwick to get his thoughts and to bring us up to speed as it relates to this matter. Minister puts Trinidad and Tobago on notice, work as usual on Carnival Day. Now, that's very interesting because there's no Carnival 2021, according to Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley. So what will happen on Monday and Tuesday? Now, note that Monday and Tuesday, that is Carnival Monday and Tuesday, are not public holidays. I just want to pause a bit. Monday and Tuesday are not public holidays. So, work as usual. Tourism, Arts and Culture Minister Randall Mitchell said he expects employees will come out to work on what would have been Carnival Monday and Tuesday, February 15th and 16th, 2021, in a response to questions sent to him. Ministry, NCC explore virtual options. That story is on page 5. Kamla Prasad Bisesa, don't scrap it. Make Carnival 2021 virtual. Well, yesterday I would have spoken also to the Promoters Association president, one Randy Glasgow, and he said to us that it is something he will want to explore, but that will need much planning indeed. So we'll continue to keep you posted as the developments take place as it relates to, well, not Carnival 2021, but the virtual Carnival 2021, if it comes on stream. Hold hand on property tax, remove VAT on more food. Kamala calls on government with the 2021 fiscal package to be announced in under a week. Opposition leader Kamala Prasad Bisesa has challenged Finance Minister Colm Imber to tell the truth next Monday. So what's the truth? Don't come with propaganda. Tell the population what the government spend the billions on and what you plan to do to improve the lives of citizens. Well, we'll continue to look at the budget. We've been looking at that for the past month or so, right here on 975, talking to a number of stakeholders. But we'll continue to look at that. To some other stories, as published in today's edition of the Newsday, Remy Spotlight meant to soften up population. Federation of Independent Trade Unions and NGOs, FITON, President Joseph Remy said, Monday's spotlight on the budget and economy 2021 was an attempt by the Prime Minister, Finance Minister, and Permanent Secretary to present data to soften what would be coming in the budget. Interesting indeed. Father of 3 walks free, rape conviction overturned. Supermarket employee charged with larceny. Those stories on page 7, today's edition of the Newsday newspaper. Now, this is a a story which should be of interest to parents, especially those parents who would have had children who would have wrote the CXC exam. Amid protests, queries, and legal threats, CXC convenes exam review team. Chairman of the Caribbean Examination Council, Hilary Beckel, said in a statement on Monday that an independent review team has been convened to assess the complaints submitted to the council by students across the region. So those are but some of the stories, as I said, published in today's edition of the Newsday newspaper. You can go outside there, purchase your copy of this publication, available at all leading newsstands. It is priced at only $3. Well, I have a caller here on the line. Hello, good morning, and welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Good morning, Kenrick. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago.
Good morning, Larry. Well, let's, on behalf of the management and staff, Larry, I want to thank you very much for, the job you did yesterday in posting that video up and sharing it with us. Certainly a very gruesome story indeed.
Well, Kenrick, I just want to let you know, I looked at the video again last night on Facebook, and the amount of views, I think we got about 2.7 million views and about maybe 30,000 shares on that video. That's just to show you that when you get accurate news and precise news, people take it seriously. And just to inform you and the listening audience, I get to understand one of the little child involved has a heart condition. Has a heart condition. So I did call a number of my friends who are business owners, and we are going to try to journey down to that family again on weekend. We don't know when is the funeral for the mother, but we don't want to collide with the funeral to go to the family. We want to go and ask what it is they would like to have these two kids grow up properly, because remember, these are girl children we're talking about, Kenrick, and we don't want to see anything happen to them. This also reminds me of the case where the gentleman in Port of Spain killed his wife and then hung himself in the square, as the case may be, and there were 2 children again involved with 3 children. One of the things that we in this country feel is follow-ups. We, the citizens, paying taxes, and a case like this come up and there are children involved, we do not get follow-ups to understand what really goes on with them as life has to go on. Now, when you look at a matter like this, Kenrick, the law in this country needs to be revised. It needs to be revised. All politicians this morning should hang their head in shame. All stakeholders. You know why, Kenrick? I listened back to that video about 10 times last night lying in my bed, trying to figure out, this woman is claiming that she made complaints to the police, get court order, and when they call for the police to come to do something, the police cannot do anything. And I think the state and the radio station this morning, the law is an ass. Because at the end of the day, when people are trying to be law-abiding and trying to go with the laws of the country to do the right thing, comes along the way a perpetrator who was warned, who was given an order to stay away, and still breaking that order. And when the police is called, they will not attend. Now, they'll talk a long time, we don't have vehicles, we couldn't attend to the matter. The police force has enough motorbikes, they have enough vehicles, they have a graveyard in Southland Mall, as you know, with a lot of vehicles parked up. They could try to fix some of these vehicles and bring it back on the road. But I would say this morning, Kenrick, the community in which this incident happened yesterday, I want to say this morning, it's a lot of old people live in that community. And many people are still shaken up from what was transpired. I spoke to an eyewitness yesterday, Kenrick. That person do not even want their names to be mentioned, or they didn't want to do an interview with anybody really to have their picture taken. And in the manner of this act, when the perpetrator waited at the bottom of the hill for the young lady to walk through a track, bounce her down, and then came out of the car with a tricanal, as we were saying in Trinidad language, and started to gouge, chop on this young lady. And there is a picture on social media, Kenrick. I am not going to circulate that. I am not going to do it. It's a raw picture of how the head was severed off the young lady's body, and it is being circulated, and I think that is very disrespectful on behalf of whoever did it. Yes, I got pictures of certain things, but I did not post it up because that is not right. I mean, that is not good to see. So, Kenrick, I am asking the police service this morning, and I'm asking the social welfare division, tell me as a taxpayer, tell me as a law-abiding citizen, are you going to send counseling to that entire village and more or less the family involved and the eyewitnesses. Now, yesterday, Kenrick, in that incident, I want to say this to you. If you look at one of the pictures where the car was in the middle of the road, mashed up, right? You will see caution tape. Every single person in that community who lives on that road, Kenrick, was asked to stay in their home, not to venture out in the road. That's what the police told the residents. Do not come out of your home, stay in your home, because there are evidence within the road line, and they have to preserve that evidence for the CSI workers to conduct their work. So you see, Kenrick, this country was toiled in a shock yesterday morning in a very quiet community, and then again, we do not have control over domestic violence. We do not know when somebody is going to do an act like that, or even worse than that. This reminds me also of the case in Sani Grande where the man chopped his wife to death in the bedroom and then take the gun and put it to his mouth and blow it off, and he's still alive. So is this matter? This perpetrator is still alive today, and he is being guarded by police because at the end of the day, he has to face the court now. So, Kenrick, when you are talking to any relevant people in the social welfare and the police division, they have to prove to us that these families and these villagers in this community are getting counseling, because we do not hear it on the news, Kenrick. We do not actually know what is taking place. But I just wanted the listening audience to understand that one of the other kids involved has a heart condition, and I'm going to make some time over the weekend to venture back to them to see what assistance that grandmother who is a sickly person, and to see what the rest of the family could get, to keep going, and whatever we can give them to give them comfort at this particular time. So It's a very, very sad day this morning when we get up to really understand what took place, Henry.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Larry, for your contribution here with us this morning. I will just note, Larry, and the listening audience, that after the 8 o'clock hour, I'll be chatting with Superintendent Claire Guy Allen, who is head of the Gender-Based Violence Unit of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. Hello, good morning, and welcome to 975. Good morning to you.
Morning to the panel. Hope everybody's doing fine. What I'm calling about, the government is talking about saving money, and they're talking about changing the national ID card.
Yeah, well, I think that is the Election and Boundaries Commission. According to a release, there's some adjustment.
Still falls under the Trinidad and Tobago government?
Yes.
So, from what I heard, everything is nearly the same.
What, with the ID card?
With the ID card.
Well, you can say that, but according to the EBC, there are certain, let's say, factors in the this card, which is very hard to, let's say, copy, if you want to put it like that. Go ahead.
Okay, well, let's hope it works out for the state and everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Be safe and have a good day.
All right, well, thank you very much for your contribution here with me this morning. Yes, I think that the Election and Boundaries Commission, they would have said that there are certain changes to the ID card. That doesn't necessarily mean to say that the one that you have currently is not valid. Hello, good morning, and welcome to 975. Good morning.
Morning, doctor. Morning to all the listeners and callers.
Good morning to you, Belmont.
Now, I must intervene here. Now, I am sorry for the lady who was murdered. I'm sorry for her mother because her mother was beaten. And I also sorry for the gentleman who attempted suicide, who actually is the perpetrator. Because if after all these series of reports made to the police, made to everybody, and the right things was done, I think that man would have been safe, sober, and he'd have been very much in control of himself. I am saying it repeatedly that these people need psychiatrist attention. They need mental observation and they need treatment. If they recover well, they would not be attempting to kill people and to be the girl mother. The other one stuck the lady in a latrine. They wouldn't do these things because they will be in control of themselves and they will know ladies are available, 3 for penny and 1 for lanyard. Look, we had 3 other murders yesterday. 3 men were killed. Those people who killing people, the English Lord Chief Justice told you that a couple of years ago, that for one to kill another one, he must go out his head first. So when these kind of reports come available, the police cannot do anything because the police don't have the act amended to refer these people to the psychiatrist. If they are reported to the psychiatrist, I have many cases like this. In a year, we don't get less than 10 cases like this, and we take them to the psychiatrist, who stay and take the treatment, they recover, but who run away, kill the wife, kill the mother, kill the brother, right in St. James there. They kill the minister's sister, right in Dundonald Street, they kill the lady there, the mother. They're killing the mother, the sister, the brother, the aunt, and everybody because they are clean out of their head, Mr. Jagannath. And if they don't listen to what I am saying, you see, the psychiatrist is not trained about cocaine and what cocaine does to the human being, and it send them clean out their head. They just see things that don't exist, far more fake things existing. So they need treatment, and until or unless someone pick up my case, it will go on forever. Imagine we have more than 300 murders for this year. 300. We don't have 300 days in the year yet, and we have 300 murders. Mr. Jagannath, help me with the campaign. Thank you very much.
Well, I know you have been on that campaign for the longest while, calling for the amendment to the Mental Health Act. But in every story, there are three sides. But hold on, let's take this call on the line. Hello, good morning, and welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Good morning, Kendrick.
And good morning to you, dear.
Kendrick, you're talking about the woman that got murdered, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, a few months ago, I went to a regional corporation here in Tunapuna, and a regional, there was the community center up there in the Piaco Tunapuna Regional Corporation. And there was a meeting there, and it was held by the United Nations, by Trinidad, the Trinidad office. And the meeting was all about domestic violence. And Dr. Hussein, this woman, was there. She's a PhD. And then there were maybe about 10 women and a presenter, and they were all dressed up, and they were all talking about domestic violence, but most of it was about the funding that they got. They got a big chunk of funding. And do you know that money went for salaries, dressing up, doing the little shows in the regional corporation? And I'm in my mind, I'm saying that will never hit the ground. It will never hit the community that really needs that information because there's no money left. There was a young man there who's a videographer, and he makes beautiful videos about stories and documentaries. And I spoke with him, and you know what he told me? He said, nothing will come of this. And I said, why is it that? I said, I get the same feeling. He said, because they don't care. What they do is they operate, when they get funding to help the community, to help you with the Red Cross, maybe to give you food or whatever, by the time that gets to you, that salary, all those salaries that pays all those workers, it's gone, it's evaporated. And the United Nations doesn't have good data on domestic violence here because we're not collecting it. And that was one of their problems. And they really didn't care because they said to me, and a whole lot of women were there, they said, we are going to send you, we're going to get all of your emails, and we're going to send you information, and we're going to try to help, we're going to get the information down there. Do you know they said nothing to nobody? Nobody got a response? And I had called some other women who were at that meeting, and we all talk about the same thing. They say if you have to change it, you have to go yourself. You can't depend on the government.
In essence, it's just a talk shop.
It's just a talk show. And you know something, Kendrick? There's a lot of funding coming down for domestic violence, especially during COVID-19.
Well, I hear you, Mom. But in every stories like this one, which we are discussing here today, there are three sides. The police side, the victim's relative side, and the truth. What is the truth? I don't know the truth, but the truth will eventually come out one of these days. You see, in this country, we have a tendency, we will talk about this matter today, probably tomorrow, and Friday. And after that, it is swept under the carpet. It is swept under the carpet. Domestic violence is not a Trinidad and Tobago police service matter, you know. Domestic violence is a societal problem. You need the community to get involved because I am sure. Okay, let's take this call on the line. Hello, good morning, and welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Good morning, Kendrick.
Good morning to you. I'm doing fine, Chris. How are you this morning?
I want to comment on very
Uh-huh.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here with you, but I'm getting a lot of feedback on the line. Anyway, go ahead. I'm hearing you.
Now, we know that there are no spectator sports in the world now, so
Mm-hmm.
where you have cricket or football played that you have spectators? Nowhere in the world. So where is man going to see some football match? At that time when there's so much millions of dollars in La Hoquita, where it's just somebody from some team, some who was from the defense force on the team with him, give back, had something stuffed in the pants, money given back to people, no receipts, nothing. Big investigation, and he gone on a holiday to see football. To see a football match with the spectators. I mean, who will put in here? What's going on in this place? Somebody really send you a name. We'll talk about not administrative meeting for 21 days to go and see Sunday football. I mean, wait. We really should pay this country. We are the most dodgy people in the world to read that story, you know. And I really want to know what kind of investigation they get place now, because this thing stinks of high heaven, you know. These are big players. We talking, they say 22 million. But a report in Gaza said 92 million. Where did this money come from? Is this drug money being laundered? I don't know. Is this part of a $500 million that was supposed to not go back to the Treasury? That went back but went to some other source, I know being given out for some other reason. I don't know. These are questions on my mind now, and these should be questions on minds of most Trinidadians. Where the $500 million, who really had that? Where is that coming from? Where is this 92 million or how much millions coming from? Where are people getting money to pay $20,000? You're walking away, you're paying $20,000 to get a pyramid? We got $20,000 from who get that? There are more questions here than we could ever find answers, and Guy Griffith gone on holiday to see Sunday football, a match that have no spectators. Come, Trans, we go wake up. Thank you.
All right, well, thank you. Well, in defense, the Commissioner of Police is saying that it has been 2 years and he has not taken any sort of leave. And within the last 2 years in office, it has taken a toll on him. And as such, he was waiting for the opportune time to go on vacation. I'm just trying to remind you and the listening audience what the Commissioner of Police would have said. But I understand that there are a number of investigations ongoing, and people have been questioning the Commissioner of Police handling of certain matters, including his quote-unquote media spat with Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley. Well, I went to social media. I was on social media yesterday, and I can tell you that a number of people, they are asking questions as to whether he was sent on leave by whoever, or whether he would have applied for leave and given the leave. But that's a matter of opinion. Look, people are required to take leave in this country if it is due to them. And as a Commissioner of Police, as a government minister, you will always have pressing matters to deal with. You will always have burning issues to deal with on your desk every morning. But there comes a time when you need to take a break, yeah? And Gary Griffith would have seen this as an opportune time to take a break. Now, that's not my opinion. That's an opinion being shared on the newspaper here this morning. Anyway, stay with us here, 975 FM Hot Like Pepper. We're climbing up to the hour of 7 o'clock. 10 minutes here to the hour of 7. That time check came to you through the kind courtesy of a radio, 975 FM Hot Like Pepper. Note that after the 8 o'clock hour, I'll be trying to get in touch with Superintendent Claire Guy Allen, who is the head of the Gender-Based Violence Unit of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. Let's take another call on the line. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 975. Good morning.
Hello, pleasant good morning. I just had to call the show this morning. Good morning to everybody in Trinidad and Tobago.
Mm-hmm.
And you, Canada, of course. The situation that happened in Laltu Trace and Penal, time and time again, we see these occurrences happening. It's very, very unfortunate. My condolences to the girl's mom. And, how much time we had to see this over and over and over? They call the police, the police, I don't know. But what I'm trying to say is, I think we should go down the road of our life for our life. You know, when somebody does a violent crime and they are caught, you know, 100% wrong, I think it's high time that we take their life, right? I saw a video from Pakistan where a guy had raped a 2-year-old child. They bring him out in the public, in a group of people, public people, and they take a gun and they put him in the ground and they shoot him and they kill him right in front there, and then they take a hoist and lift him up in the air and they break his neck, right? This is the kind of thing we need to do in Trinidad and Tobago, and you will see who will play, who will play Batman after that. Our lives for our lives. Thank you.
All right. Well, you're talking about a capital punishment. Well, capital punishment is on the law books of Trinidad and Tobago. You're talking here about the death penalty, and it is something which we would have discussed in this program on a number of occasions. But there are a number of purists outside there, human rights advocate, who would come to the defense, or who would rather present a different argument as it relates to capital punishment. But as I said, this was a very gruesome matter yesterday down in Lal 2 Trace in Pinal. It's not the first time. Of course, one newspaper is reminding us that over, 5 and 4 is 9. Over 9 women, 10 domestic, or rather 10 domestic abuse victims this year. And as I said to you before, I went to the lines. This is a societal problem. It's not a TTPS problem. It's a community problem. It's a family problem. It's a religious problem. It's a cultural problem. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 975. Good morning.
Belmont here again.
Good morning, Belmont.
We do what the last caller is advocating. We'll be going backward because our High Court, common law tell you, if someone commit an offense of murder and at the time they were out of their head, they were sent to sentence, and the mental officer said he was crazy, they don't try him. He's not convicted. He goes back into sentence for the balance of his life. We have 36 people like that in sentence. So it will be cruel to go and shoot a madman in the road. So we will be going backward. So what we have to do is to get the psychiatrist intervention before he commits a murder. From the time he's a potential murderer, they'll have him examined by a psychiatrist. And if the psychiatrist he needs treatment, don't give him tablets to go home. Have a ward big like the Savannah and put him there and treat him. And when that poor fella recovers, he will see how stupid he was before. And if you don't do that, you're going back to the days when in the Western they used to walk with a rope when a shooting takes place. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much. Well, look, as I said, Mr. Belmont, you have been always calling for the Mental Health Act to be amended. But if you had to lock up people because of mental challenges, well, then 75% of Trinidad and Tobago will be behind bars, so to speak. Hello, good morning, and welcome to 975. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Good morning.
Good morning to you, my friend. And how are you this morning? It's been a while. What's going on?
Well, I'm just paying attention to what's taking place.
Mm-hmm.
But you see this, that murder touched my heart. All murderers committing an act like that should not face a court. Were I a policeman going to arrest that man, he would be dead. I don't care if I lose my job. Because it's going on and on and on. All murderers, the law book says thou shalt not kill. And if you go across that line, no lawyer should take that case. Wipe them out immediately. Thank you.
Well, according to those, or another argument, there's something called due process. Yes? But I know this is a matter which, look, domestic violence is not something new in Trinidad and Tobago. Eh? It's not something new. Hello, good morning, and welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Yes, pleasant. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
I am appealing 100 times, or 1,000 times, or 1,000,000 times. In this domestic situation, you know, I played with the police service this morning, the TTPS.
Mm-hmm.
When they get a call, you know, at least they could have some kind of record. If they get a call one time, you know, I know that they don't go and investigate or show their face or do something. But when you have somebody calling you about 2 or 3 times for the same matter,
Mm-hmm.
make it all your business now. They're getting paid or we're paying taxes for the services.
No, but hold on. Let's put a different argument. You and I don't know whether the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service or whether officers from, let's say, the Penal Police Station would have cautioned the gentleman on previous occasion. You and I don't know that.
Well, I saw it in the news. The grieving mother
Well,
called the TTPS several times.
Well, this is what I'm saying. We need to know what is the truth. In every story or in every matter, there are 3 sides. Your side, my side, and the truth. That's why I want to talk today with Superintendent Claire Guy Allen, head of the Gender-Based Violence Unit, to find out whether or not police officers would have responded to the cries of this family. And even hold on. Hold on. Let me ask a question of you and the listening audience. No, let me ask a question of you and the listening audience. If, as a relative, I report a domestic matter and police respond, the most they can do is caution and warn the person involved in the matter. Yes?
Yeah, that is all they could do. Yeah.
Right. Good. Beautiful. They cannot arrest him because he has not committed a crime. If he would have, let's say, breached a protection order or a restraining order, all you can do is give him, caution him and warn him. You cannot arrest him. But in the middle of the night or in an unguarded moment, you will have these people or people like him who feel hurt in some particular way taking their own action. The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service cannot be there 24/7. Or they cannot police. They cannot police the particular individual 24/7. You understand my point?
Yeah, I agree with it, and you know, it goes back to the individual. You know, everything goes back to the individual, as we always like to say. You like to say that too.
That is what I'm saying. That is what I'm saying to you.
Right.
You see, we would have a tendency now this morning to blame the TTPS. I am not here protecting police officers. I'm just trying to be as honest as possible. We'll now.
Close to the 7 o'clock.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Yeah. Now we'll try to cast blame on the TTPS, and maybe rightly so, for failing to act or acting on a timely basis. But what is your role here now of community leaders? What is your role here of the community? What is your role here of religious leaders? What? You see, I tend to put a different approach and a different spin on things. Because I listened to most people yesterday talking about it. Why the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, or why officers did not react or apprehend the man, lock up. You cannot lock up people just so. There's something called due process. It's an unfortunate incident. I empathize, I sympathize. My heart goes out to the families and friends of the victim in this case. But we have to look at the bigger picture. Let's take this call on the line. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 975. Good morning.
Morning to the panel again.
Good morning, sir.
I have interaction with a lot of mental patients.
All right, a friend, I want to apologize, but because I have to take this 7 o'clock news now, but
no problem.
Yeah. I'll invite you to join me back again after the 7 o'clock hour. 975 FM, Hot Like Pepper. Stay with us here.
Time has come. New 97.5. Make it your choice. Something for everyone. 975 FM. Music for you. It's all about you.
97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper, multicultural radio.
Power to the listeners.
It is now time for major news to the hour. It comes to you with the very kind compliments of Super Quality Supermarket, Sheikh Lisha Limited, the Trinidad and Tobago Newsday, and Darpan Trading Company Limited.
This is the 7 a.m. news on U97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. I am Umaratan Singh. Good morning. Fishermen and Friends of the Seas claiming that it has received reports that fishermen were dumping waste diesel into the waters of Chaguaramas Bay. In a release yesterday, the group said unscrupulous dumping was done by both local and Venezuelan fishermen. However, FFOS Corporate Secretary Gary Aboud said they have received reports and photographs with evidence of locals and Venezuelans pumping the waste oil from their vessels into the Coral Cove Marina in Chaguaramas on Tuesday. Aboud said the group has called on the Environmental Management Authority to investigate the reports as soon as possible. Caribbean Airlines announced salary reductions and temporary layoffs yesterday as part of its plan to support the airline's recovery starting from October 15th. The decision was made based on careful consideration and discussions with the key stakeholders as it relates to the COVID-19 global pandemic, since there is a reduced demand for the operation of the airline. CAL assured its stakeholders that its current operations are not impacted by the temporary layoffs, including its cargo operations, the domestic air bridge between Trinidad and Tobago, the Kingston and Barbados-based commercial services, and special government-approved flights to and from Trinidad and Tobago. 2 women are now hospitalized after having a confrontation along O'Meara Road, Arima, on Monday. According to reports, the 2 women were seen having a verbal confrontation, which soon became physical. During the fight, one of the women pulled out a knife and stabbed the other. The knife was then wrestled away, causing the victim to retaliate. And moving on to regional news in Barbados. The Director of Child Care Board, Joan Crawford, is calling on parents and guardians to stop abusing children. Crawford has called on adults to refrain from inflicting any and all types of abuse, including mental and emotional abuse, upon the children of the country. And with some international news, according to a CNN report, Walt Disney has announced it will lay off 20,000 employees, mostly at its U.S. theme parks. Disney cited the park's limited visitor capacity since the coronavirus pandemic. The company's theme parks have taken a major hit from the pandemic earlier this year as the virus spread, but only Disneyland in California remains closed. And now for your weather forecast. Today we'll experience partly cloudy and breezy conditions with showers expected during the morning and early afternoon. The current temperature is 27 degrees Celsius and expected to reach a high of 32 degrees Celsius as the day progresses. And that's the end of your 7 a.m. news on U97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. Join us at 8 a.m. for more news. I am Umaratan Singh, wishing you a safe and productive day ahead.
Well, thank you very much, Umar, for that 7 o'clock news update. Note that you can join Umar again at around 8 o'clock for our major newscast. Stay with us here, 975 FM Hot Like Pepper, as we continue with the second hour of today's edition of the morning program. UTalk 975 FM Hot Like Pepper, powered to you by RCL Communications Network. Stay with us here.
That was Major News to the Hour, brought to you with the very kind compliments of Super Quality Supermarket, Sheikh Lisha Limited, the Trinidad and Tobago Newsday, and Darban Trading Company Limited.
Kathy's Cool Spot Enterprises Limited, number 86 Pearville, opposite the TSTT Exchange in Mayaro. We specialize in all types of meats, dry goods, liquor, beverages, ice, LPG, gas, motor oils, stationery supplies, and photocopying. We also provide rentals of tents and chairs for your every occasion. Come in and take advantage of our specials at reduced prices on liquor, wholesale, and retail. We are open every day, even on public holidays, for your convenience. TT Post services are available here at Kathy's Cool Spot Enterprises Limited of number 86 Pearville, Mayaro, where our friendly staff will be happy to serve you.
Attention all bakers, doubles vendors and roti makers. Try our high quality unbleached bromate free all-purpose and baker's flour. Low price and conveniently packaged in 2 pounds, 2 kg, 10 kg and 25 kg bags. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Shiklisha Limited 665-3336 or visit us at Warrenville, Canupia. Shiklisha Limited, quality you can trust.
For quality items, visit Super Quality Supermarket of Endeavour Road, Chaguanas, and Trin City Industrial Estate in Trin City, as well as Quality Cash and Carry Supermarket, Cuba Car Park, for all your grocery items, liquor, fresh fruits, and vegetables, not forgetting their bed and bath section, and kitchen appliances for your home. With so many items to choose from, take advantage of our great prices and discounts at any of our 3 locations: Trin City Industrial Estate in Trin City, Endeavour Road, Chaguanas, and Cuba. For quality items, Super Quality Supermarket and Quality Cash and Carry Supermarket.
U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio is now on Facebook. Like us, follow and share our page. We'll be sharing the latest news, tips, and much more. You can also view what's happening in our studio. Find us on YouTube and subscribe to our channel at RCL U975.
It's the talk of the town. It's Talk It Talk on U975 FM, Monday to Thursday from 6 to 9 p.m. So join me, your host Mukesh Baburam, on a 3-hour journey guaranteed to take your stress away. Remember, Monday to Thursday, right here on U975 FM.
To you, Newsday Classifieds. Take Value Optical to be your partner.
I do.
I now pronounce free eye test from Value Optical for Newsday Classified customers. Call the Newsday Classified reps for more information. You may now kiss the bride.
Yes, the discussion this morning is centering around this incident which would have taken place down at Laltu Trace rather, in Pinal yesterday, where a young mother would have been brutally killed by, according to a report, one of her relatives. Now, the matter would have attracted a public conversation, and I listened to the interview yesterday with the victim's mother, making certain claims. But I want to ask a question here this morning. What is the hope of the population for the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service to act in matters like these? And I always remind people that the TTPS, police officers, can only act based on a report. Based on a report. Let me repeat, based on a report. If there are no reports, well, then the TTPS cannot act. But admittedly, according to the victim's mother, a report would have been made, and she's claiming that police officers failed to act. There was a restraining order. The man would have broken the restraining order, and the unfortunate incident happened. And as I said to you this morning, this is not a governmental problem or a Trinidad and Tobago Police Service problem. This is a societal problem. You see, we need to be proactive as opposed to reactive. We tend to react to situations like these. But we need to be proactive, that is to prevent events like these, to prevent incidents like these. And how do we do that? By getting everyone involved. The community ought to be involved. And I am saying that it's a failure of the community and the society at large to come up with measures to introduce measures to stem the scourge of domestic violence in Trinidad and Tobago. You see, we will talk about this, as I said, today, tomorrow, and in the coming days, and it will be swept under the carpet until another incident like this raises its head again. And even, I think, was it this year or last year, that the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, under the watch of Gary Griffith, would have set up the Gender-Based Violence Unit. How effective that unit is thus far, well, I don't know. What is their role? What is their mandate? Their mandate specifically is to deal with gender-based violence. Counseling, yes, but counseling for what? For a period of time, and after that, what happened? The families have to depend on themselves and others, of course, to get over this traumatic period. So how do we move on from here? This is not the first time that a woman would have been killed as a result of domestic violence. According to information, it's about 10 domestic abuse victims this year. And in one of the newspaper this morning would have published the photographs of the victims. I am asking the question here this morning, is it a cultural thing? Is it an ethnic thing? I do not know. But help must be coming to people. What is the help? Well, I don't know. I'm not an authority on the subject. But I'm asking the question here this morning. What is the hope of people outside there for any sort of action which the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service must take? 975 FM, hot like pepper. Let's take this call on the line. Hello, good morning, and welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Good morning. Kendrick, I want to ask a question.
Yeah.
Is our border closed? And if it is closed,
well, no, hold on. You asked me a question, let me answer it. The legal borders are closed. Airspace is closed.
How Gary Griffith traveling?
Gary Griffith is the Commissioner of Police. Now you asked me a question which I cannot answer. Well, no, hold on. Let me attempt to answer the question. Gary Griffith is due for holidays. He's the Commissioner of Police. Okay? The Minister of National Security may have given him the necessary exemption, blessings and so on. Simple like that.
Well, there's no plane flying. How we going? Your wing?
But you know, sometimes I just can't deal with fellas like all you. If no plane are flying, if he has wings. There are special flights. If you listen to the news yesterday, there are special flights to move people or nationals of this country from the United States and from Canada on a timely basis. Even so in Trinidad. So let's get real now. Let's get real. The Commissioner of Police, Gary Griffith, is saying that he is due for holidays. 2 years he has been under stress. He's taken this time out to visit his son in Ireland. He's due for vacation. You see, there will, like as I said, there will always be challenges in front people who sits in senior offices. There'll always be issues. There'll always be investigation. There'll always be matter. So what do? You don't go on leave? Even myself here on the morning program, I'm here every day, Monday to Friday. But sometimes I do need to take a break. It's human nature. So I don't understand the question this morning. Why Gary Griffith going on leave now? So when would he go on leave? There will always be murder in Trinidad and Tobago. There will always be investigation continuing. There will always be matters circulating around the head of the Commissioner of Police. So when does he go on vacation? Or as a matter of fact, when does anyone go on vacation? The Prime Minister goes on vacation. Your question is how he leaving? Because there are no commercial flights. He's the Commissioner of Police. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 975. Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
I would like to wish the Commissioner of Police a very restful and, I hope that he has a very good vacation with his family and enjoy the scenery. He deserves it, right? Because to be the Commissioner of Police in Trinidad and Tobago is not an easy job. All right? But I have an uneasy feeling, yes, you need to take a vacation, you have your personal life, sure. I just hope that, getting back to this DSS matter, I hope that they continue along the straight path with this investigation, because I'm not going to let this thing slip by. I will call the radio station from time to time. It's kind of, it may or may not be nothing in the timing that, he goes on vacation. That's his thing. But, I find it kind of, I don't know, maybe fishy or something. But
no. Right.
Right.
Well, let me ask a question to you. When should a senior officer or a senior office holder find the opportune time to go on a vacation?
No, I understand. I understand. I'm not questioning that.
Okay.
I'm not questioning that. The man, he entitled to a vacation. Don't get me wrong.
So, no. So is it? Are we saying that Gary Griffith now going on a vacation, that we do not have faith and confidence in the DCP, who is Jason Ford? Are we saying that he is going to leave this matter as it is until Gary Griffith comes back?
Well, let me put it like this, right? I don't know that man. I don't know Gary Griffith personally. But in my heart and mind, I still, to some degree, believe in Gary Griffith. My personal preference between this Ford guy and Gary Griffith, I would prefer Gary Griffith deal with this matter. That is just me, because I have confidence in the man. Gary Griffith, he went down in Westmoreland and he get all the drugs and he bring it to the public domain, and that was in the early part. I don't know if anything changed, but I just hope that justice is done to this matter. And one important observation I make, right? If it is, they can't touch these DSS people because they come out and say, well, there's nothing to charge them for and everything was good and everything honky-dory. Why it is we don't adapt this system, because it seems to be making money for people, right? Why it is we don't adapt the system in a bigger way so that people could put their money and get a hefty return? If there's nothing wrong with it, it's just me. That's just my opinion.
No, well, you see, okay, no, I enjoy talking to about this matter, because here it is. Can you tell me what law these people would have broken? What law? To charge them for what? Where is the evidence? You see, you cannot charge someone based on hearsay. You have to charge someone based on evidence. And in this country, we have a tendency to engage in all sort of conspiracy as it relates to Gary Griffith going on a vacation. Some people are saying that he would have been asked to go on vacation. By whom? The Police Service Commission? The Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Rowley? Minister of National Security, Stuart Young? Some people are saying that he was forced to go on vacation because of all of these investigations which he's involved in, and all of these matters circulating around his head. More so the DSS matter and his media/public spat with Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley. We love to engage in controversies, in conspiracy, rather than try to find out the truth. What is the truth? I can only go by what is being reported and what Gary Griffith would have said. That he would have applied for vacation, he would have been granted a vacation, and is proceeding on vacation. When he come back from vacation in a month's time, he will continue in his job as usual. In the meantime, acting DCP Jason Ford is set to go on retirement on Thursday. You know that? All right, so let's continue with our discussion here, right here, 975 FM, hot like pepper. The time in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, it's just about 22 minutes past the hour of 7 o'clock. And that time check came to you through the kind courtesy of Radio 975 FM, hot like pepper. Let's take this call on the line. I'm sorry to miss your call, my friend, but you need to call me back. Let me share this with you here this morning. Domestic violence victims, male and female, are asked to report all incidents to a hotline. That hotline is 795-9531. People can also report it to the Police Gender-Based Violence Unit or the Domestic Violence Hotline at 800-SAVE. As I said, a bit later on in the program, just after 8 o'clock, I'll be chatting with the Superintendent Claire Guy Allen, who is the head of the Gender-Based Violence Unit of Trinidad, the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. So that should be a very interesting discussion indeed. Stay with us here, 975 FM, hot like pepper. Let me go to some commercials here this morning.
Kathy's School Sport Enterprises Limited, number 86 Pearville, opposite the TSTT Exchange in Mayaro. We specialize in all types of meats, dry goods, liquor, beverages, ice, LPG, gas, motor oils, stationery supplies, and photocopying. We also provide rentals of tents and chairs for your every occasion. Come in and take advantage of our specials at reduced prices on liquor, wholesale, and retail. We are open every day, even on public holidays, for your convenience. TT Post services are available here at Kathy's School Sport Enterprises Limited of number 86 Pearville, Mayaro, where our friendly staff will be happy to serve you.
Attention all bakers, doubles vendors and roti makers. Try our high quality unbleached bromate free all-purpose and baker's flour. Low price and conveniently packaged in 2 pounds, 2 kg, 10 kg and 25 kg bags. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Shiklisha Limited 665-3336 or visit us at Warrenville, Canupia. Shiklisha Limited, quality you can trust.
For quality items, visit Super Quality Supermarket of Endeavour Road, Chiguanas, and Trin City Industrial Estate in Trin City, as well as Quality Cash and Carry Supermarket, Cuba Car Park, for all your grocery items, liquor, fresh fruits, and vegetables, not forgetting their bed and bath section, and kitchen appliances for your home. With so many items to choose from, take advantage of our great prices and discounts at any of our 3 locations. Trin City Industrial Estate in Trin City, Endeavour Road, Chiguanas, and Cuba. For quality items, Super Quality Supermarket and Quality Cash and Carry Supermarket.
U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio is now on Facebook. Like us, follow and share our page. We'll be sharing the latest news, tips and much more. You can also view what's happening in our studio. Find us on YouTube and subscribe to our channel at RCL U975.
Can't go anywhere to enjoy yourself? Well, join us on 97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio, as we got your Saturdays covered. The party starts from 8 a.m. Yes, 8 a.m. to 12 noon. We got Sharon Baruch alongside DJ Vishal. 12 to 3 p.m. Captain Kendall is in full flight and will take you straight into 3 to 6 as DJ Anil will put you into the mix. Then from 6 to 9, the man DJ Sean, half man, half amazing, takes the spotlight from 6 to 9. And from 9 to 1, the man Koki D steps into the building and he will mix it up for you into the morning. Tune in, log on 975radio.com as we put you in the party mood with all of our DJs and announcers. Tell your friends, tell your family, 975radio.com.
To you, Music Classifieds. Take Value Optical to be your partner.
I do.
I now pronounce free eye test from Value Optical for Newsday Classified customers. Call the Newsday Classified reps for more information. You may now kiss the bride.
greeting in the wonderful name of Jesus. My name is Bishop Kelvin Khan from Endurance Ministry International. Our new location is in Railway Road, Londonville. You can tune into 97.5 every Sunday morning from 6 a.m. till 8. Tell your nanny and your nana, your chachi, your chacha, your grandpa, your grandma. We need to pray for our nation. God bless you. Thank you.
Praise Him, praise Him.
Yes, 27 minutes here past the hour of 7 o'clock, and that time check came to you through the kind courtesy of Radio 975, powered by RCL Communications Network. Let's go to the lines. Hello, good morning. All right, I'm sorry to miss your call. But there's another development here taking place, because according to Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley, okay, let's take this call on the line. Hello, good morning, and welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Morning, Mr. K. I'm listening to the program.
Yeah, good morning to you.
As usual. I retired from the police service after 3 days, and I got the condition due to domestic violence. Some of these young girls, I go and pick up. I have to ask them, why is the same that person going to pick up? A man, I went domestic violence that post at a young lady house. The man sleeping with his birthday suit, drink rum. That is the type of people you see to pick up. Some of these young girls and all, the way they're dressing in a shameful manner, degrading manner to East Indian, especially. The youth, when the pants drop low. I'm listening to Mr. Belmont, and you will want to pick up people like that? You say you want the mental health act to pass. A former local government minister who they call the sheriff, that man took his slap pill at the Santana police station and plaster in the wall, they're playing mad to go sentence. You leave. You have 27 fraud charges facing against you. Who will pay for them things after you pass away? And you have to come back. I am a Hindu. I believe in karma. You have to come back in some other form to pay for these things. That 27 fraud charges, and you call yourself a minister. And next thing we have government minister.
No, hold on. I want to ask a question of you. What powers the Trinidad and Tobago police have, or a police officer have, to respond to a matter where someone would have break a restraining order? What can a police officer do?
Well, they cannot do nothing because that is the people and choice to live there. You cannot do nothing.
As I said this morning, the most a police officer can do is caution, warn the particular individual. Yes.
I agree with you 100%. You can't. I went to Paro and I see a drop on his wife come to the President police station. I went there when that man picked the food that they cook, kept her on the step. I tell the lady we cannot do nothing. You is the person have to take step with that. We cannot do nothing about that. That is the choice you make. Some of these people don't have education and they want to grow up a family. They don't know how to grow up a family. Right now in my district, there is thief in, they're robbing. Woman can't put their clothes outside or dry in the line when they get any money. They can't see it. Everybody's a thief. The corruption. Look what's going on in this country. You go to ombudsman, there's corruption. The county medical officer, a lady by the name of Miss Lalu, instructing me I must construct a drain in my property for the wrongdoing of our next neighbor who built a house and running his water in my property. All that is corruption. The woman dressing a degrading manner. You have calypso man singing calypso and telling the young girl don't climb pick a tree, but I'm looking for picker. And next thing, the way you dress. And next calypso man singing, you eat saltfish hard and bony, you're talking to me, all these kind of things, I pick on, put that in your head and learn something. Thank you.
All right, well, people may take issue with the manner in which you would have related your contribution, but you are quite right. As you're talking about a societal problem. It's not a Trinidad and Tobago Police Service problem. It is a societal problem. Hello, good morning, and welcome to 975. Good morning.
Morning, Mr. Kenrick. Morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Morning to your staff.
Good morning to you,
Mr. Kenrick, we dealt with this already on other incidents.
Yeah, I know.
And what you're saying is a societal problem. Remember, back in the days, right? If you want to see a girl, remember the parents used to go first and scoop out the family, scoop out the girl, scoop out the father. Sometimes you cry in your heart out. That was like you and my time earlier. They say, but I love the girl, I love the boy. But remember, at that tender young age, you just can't foresee the certain signs that they tell them the foresee. But now you have children telling you in Form 1 and Form 2, I have a boyfriend, I have a girlfriend. That our society degenerated at that. And they can't fight it too much at another parent in the mixer. You just have to monitor your children very closely. And in these ways, the fruits you picking from it. And at the end of the day, as the guy now said there, when the police reach sometimes, I already saw situations where when they reach ready for that, try to warn him, the lady said, "No, bother, he behaving." He said, it's real.
Well, quite true. And these are the realities that people don't want to face when you put a different argument.
It don't have any solution to the particular problem at point in time. All I can suggest, as the guy said just now, we don't want to condemn anybody here, but you're checking out a little fellow, a little girl, and check out the little, because if you observe a lot of these guys, when you check back the history, they have a base of a violent streak at the farmer, they have a tendency towards violence. And somebody does see it by the tell itself, hey, look at me.
This threw my mind back to an audience which Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley would have been speaking to, where he called on women to be very particular about the relationship you foster, and they took issue with him.
Yeah, Mama, Mr. Kenneth, they blaze him.
They took issue with him.
I think we got all the children that are growing up now, the younger ones. I think we got to try and guide our children differently. We might not win every situation, but I think we
hold on. I want to make it very clear. I am not casting blame or pointing fingers at anyone, No. This is a very unfortunate incident. As I said, we need to be proactive as opposed to reactive.
And Mr. Kenneth, what happens here now? Sometimes, like the children, the age of the children, this stigma stays on them. They live with this. I feel more sorry for the children here now. They living with this stigma, and when they are recognizable agents, it's a real damper on you growing up mentally and psychologically. So this kind of sad thing happen, So, but how there's no quick fix. There's no solution to this problem. You just have to work with these things. Now, there are plenty of men going through things and wouldn't resort to that. I myself grew up in a broken home, but some men different and they wouldn't resort to that kind of thing.
But you see, whenever you have any sort of problems in relationship, there's something what you call. Look, I am no psychologist. I'm just a realist. I'm telling you, I call it as I see it. And you have these challenges and you have these concerns in any sort of relationship. There's something what you call a support service. That is what you have friends for. You don't have friends just to go in your favorite watering hole and cough down some beers, You have friends you can reach out to. You have parents you can reach out to. You have people you can reach out to and talk, have a conversation.
Yeah, well, Mr. Can you give us some of the situation where this happened to? You observe is situation where they don't have much family support on some side now. And that doesn't mean both sides, because what we seen here yesterday, apparently the girl had a lot of support on her side, but on the guy's side, like we are hearing anything much. He resorted to that. But the sad, we are trying to work in this society. Maybe we are trying to support our society more until like when need to know in the area like how it's going on, try and support in a smarter way. Sometimes some of these fellas so kind of tipped off on the edge. They just shoot out. Let somebody make a contribution. Thanks.
Okay, well, I was hearing you and I enjoy our conversation. Let's take this call on the line. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Yeah, morning. I'm just calling to respond to that previous caller who said that he was a member of the police service and so on. And he was advising the host youth so that once the police has no authority if a protection order is enforced. And I want to disagree. Once there's a protection order, or what it is commonly called a restraining order.
No, there's a difference. Hold on. There's a difference between protection order and a restraining order.
No, sir. There's a protection order and restraining order is the same thing. The one is called an interim order. That is the one that is issued by a magistrate if the circumstances are very dire one, right? And a protection order is issued after the magistrate would have heard the both parties and would have ruled as it relates to what the defendant should refrain from doing. Once the man breaches the conditions of that protection order, the police has all right to arrest the man and take him before the magistrate to be dealt with by the law. So to say that the police has no authority is wrong. And if he's saying that he was a serving member for how much years, then I could relate to where the problem in the police service started. That's my contribution.
Okay, well, we'll have to get some more information on that. That's why I want you to listen to our interview a bit later on the program with Superintendent Claire Guy Allen, and we'll talk about what are some of the powers that police officers have as it relates to this matter. But as I said, in matters like these, when a report is made, the most a police officer can do is caution, and that's all he can do, caution a person. But as I said, in the dead of the night or in an unguarded moment, anything can happen. Anything can happen. This is not the first time, and this is not the last time we'll be hearing or reading or talking about incidents like these. So pay attention to our interview coming up just after the 8 o'clock hour with Superintendent Claire Guy Allen, who is the head of the Gender-Based Violence Unit of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. 975 FM Hot Like Pepper. We're climbing up to the hour of 8 o'clock. It's just about 22 minutes here to the hour of 8. And that time check came to you through the kind courtesy of Radio 975 FM Hot Like Pepper, powered by RCL Communications Network. On Friday too, I'll be chatting with attorney at law and president of the All Trinidad General Workers Trade Union, Mr. Nirvan Maraj, to get his take on this. I want to get a legal, I don't want to be misguided, and I don't want to share information with people which I do not have or mislead people. Stay with us here, 975 FM Hot Like Pepper. It's time for our COVID-19 feature. Now, this COVID-19 feature is coming to you with the compliments of Barlow Engineering and Construction Services Limited. Let's thank Barlow Engineering and Construction Services Limited for partnering with us here at 975, our COVID-19 feature for today.
It's now time for your COVID-19 feature on U975, Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. It's coming to you with the kind compliments of Barlow Engineering, Construction and Maintenance Services Limited.
This is SARS-CoV-2. It belongs to the family of coronaviruses named for the crown-like spikes on their surfaces. SARS-CoV-2 can cause COVID-19, a contagious viral infection that attacks primarily your throat and lungs. What actually happens in your body when you contract the coronavirus? What exactly causes your body to develop pneumonia? And how would a vaccine work? The coronavirus must infect living cells in order to reproduce. Let's have a closer look. Inside the virus, genetic material contains the information to make more copies of itself. A protein shell provides a hard protective enclosure for the genetic material as the virus travels between the people it infects. An outer envelope allows the virus to infect cells by merging with the cell's outer membrane. Projecting from the envelope are spikes of protein molecules. Both a typical influenza virus and the new coronavirus use their spikes like a key to get inside a cell in your body, where it takes over the cell's internal machinery, repurposing it to build the components of new viruses. When an infected person talks, coughs, or sneezes, droplets carrying the virus may land in your mouth or nose and then move into your lungs. Once inside your body, the virus comes in contact with cells in your throat, nose, or lungs. One spike on the virus inserts into a receptor molecule on your healthy cell membrane like a key in a lock. This action allows the virus to get inside your cell. A typical flu virus would travel inside a sac made from your cell membrane to your cell's nucleus that houses all its genetic material. The coronavirus, on the other hand, doesn't need to enter the host cell nucleus. It can directly access parts of the host cell called ribosomes. Ribosomes use genetic information from the virus to make viral proteins, such as the spikes on the virus's surface. A packaging structure in your cell then carries the spikes in vesicles which merge with your cell's outer layer, the cell membrane. All the parts needed to create a new virus gather just beneath your cell's membrane. Then, a new virus begins to bud off from the cell's membrane. Now, with the virus spreading in your body, how can you develop pneumonia symptoms? For this, we'll have to look into your lungs. Each lung has separate sections called lobes. Normally, as you breathe, air moves freely through your trachea or windpipe, then through large tubes called bronchi, through smaller tubes called bronchioles, and finally into tiny sacs called alveoli. Your airways and alveoli are flexible and springy. When you breathe in, each air sac inflates like a small balloon. And when you exhale, the sacs deflate. Small blood vessels called capillaries surround your alveoli. Oxygen from the air you breathe passes into your capillaries, and then carbon dioxide from your body passes out of your capillaries into your alveoli so that your lungs can get rid of it when you exhale. Your airways catch most germs in the mucus that lines your trachea, bronchi, and bronchioles. In a healthy body, hair-like cilia lining the tubes constantly push the mucus and germs out of your airways, where you might expel them by coughing. Normally, cells of your immune system attack viruses and germs that make it past your mucus and cilia and enter your alveoli. However, if your immune system is weakened, like in the case of a coronavirus infection, the virus can overwhelm your immune cells, and your bronchioles and alveoli become inflamed as your immune system attacks the multiplying viruses. The inflammation can cause your alveoli to fill with fluid, making it difficult for your body to get the oxygen it needs. You could develop lobar pneumonia, where one lobe of your lungs is affected, or you could have bronchopneumonia that affects many areas of both lungs. Pneumonia may cause difficulty breathing, chest pain, coughing, fever and chills, confusion, headache, muscle pain, and fatigue. It can also lead to more serious complications. Respiratory failure occurs when your breathing becomes so difficult that you need a machine called a ventilator to help you breathe. These are the machines that save lives and that medical device companies currently ramp up production for. Whether you would develop these symptoms depends on a lot of factors, such as your age and whether you already have an existing condition. While this all sounds scary, the push to develop a coronavirus vaccine is moving at high speed. Studies of other coronaviruses led most researchers to assume that people who have recovered from a SARS-CoV-2 infection could be protected from reinfection for a period of time. But that assumption needs to be backed by empirical evidence, and some studies suggest otherwise. There are several different approaches for a potential vaccine against the coronavirus. The basic idea is that you would get a shot that contains faint versions of the virus. The vaccine would expose your body to a version of the virus that is too weak to cause infection, but just strong enough to stimulate an immune response. Within a few weeks, cells in your immune system would make markers called antibodies, which would be specific for only the coronavirus, or specifically its spike protein. Antibodies then attach to the virus and prevent it from attaching to your cells. Your immune system then responds to signals from the antibodies by consuming and destroying the clumps of viruses. If you then catch the real virus at a later stage, your body would recognize it and destroy it. In other words, your immune system is now primed. Collecting evidence on whether this will be possible, safe, and effective is part of what's taking researchers so long to develop a vaccine. It's a race against time to develop a vaccine amid a pandemic. Each step in vaccine development usually takes months, if not years. An Ebola vaccine broke records by being ready in 5 years. The hope here is to develop one for the new coronavirus in a record-breaking 12 to 18 months. While all of this will take time, stay home if you can, to protect the most vulnerable. And don't forget to wash your hands for at least 20 seconds and as often as possible.
That was your COVID-19 feature on U975 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. It was brought to you courtesy Balo Engineering, Construction and Maintenance Services Limited.
Kathy's Cool Spot Enterprises Limited, number 86 Pearville, opposite the TSTT Exchange in Mayaro. We specialize in all types of meats, dry goods, liquor, beverages, ice, LPG, gas, motor oils, stationery supplies, and photocopying. We also provide rentals of tents and chairs for your every occasion. Come in and take advantage of our specials at reduced prices on liquor, wholesale, and retail. We are open every day, even on public holidays, for your convenience. TT Post services are available here at Kathy's Cool Spot Enterprises Limited of number 86 Pearville, Mayaro, where our friendly staff will be happy to serve you.
KY's Electrical Supplies Limited of Southern Main Road, Canupia. For all your plumbing and electrical supplies, water heaters, filters and water pumps. Plus all parts for Gould, Pentax and Leo pumps. Choose from leading brands such as Cooper, Varma, BTCino, Leviton and General Electric. Call 665-6954 for more information. KY's Electrical Supplies Limited of Southern Main Road, Canupia.
Attention all bakers, doubles vendors and roti makers. Try our high quality unbleached bromate free all-purpose and baker's flour. Low price and conveniently packaged in 2 pounds, 2 kg, 10 kg and 25 kg bags. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Shiklisha Limited 665-3336 or visit us at Warrenville, Canupia. Shiklisha Limited, quality you can trust.
To you, Newsday Classifieds. Take Value Optical to be your partner.
I do.
I do.
I now pronounce free eye test from Value Optical for Newsday Classified customers. Call the Newsday Classified reps for more information. You may now kiss the bride.
A&S Hardware and the General Contractors Limited of 107 Bonaventure Road in Gasparillo. For all your hardware materials from foundation to finish. Not forgetting all your general contracting needs. We have it all at A&S Hardware and the General Contractors Limited, located at 107 Bonaventure Road in Gasparillo. Just call Tiki Ali at 650-2180.
A&S Hardware are wholesalers and retailers of plywood, an assortment of lumber, galvanized pipe, hollow section and steel. Customers can enjoy special prices on white pine and pitch pine doors.
Yes, we're dealing with domestic violence here this morning, and we were talking about a restraining order and so on. So I'm just trying to do some research and bring you up to speed as to what a restraining order is. A restraining order is a court order intended to protect you from further harm from someone who has hurt you. It works to keep the abuser away from you, to stop harassing you, to keep the abuser from the scene of the violence, which may include your home, place of work, or apartment. It is a civil order and it does not give the abuser a criminal record. Note that. Abuser, a criminal record. Let's take this call on the line. Hello, good morning, and welcome to 975. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Kenrick.
Good morning to you, my friend. How are you doing?
Boy, just listening.
I can take a hiatus or what? What's going on with you?
Well, I really take a hiatus. Just chilling because I mean, the domestic violence is something that is a complex thing. This domestic violence and the little issue around domestic violence is too much people be involved in it. It's a problem between a man and a woman, and that's how they sort it out. But in turn, the people who take sides will be making it worse. As I say, it's very unfortunate.
Well, I want to ask a question here this morning of you and the listening order. Is it a cultural problem, or is it a ethnic problem? You tell me.
I believe it's a worldwide problem.
Or is it a urban problem as opposed to a rural problem?
This thing transcending everything, gender, race, society. This is domestic thing. All right, but again, we have laws. We believe we live under systems and laws to protect we. Now, this is why I come to the question I asked this morning. Anybody ever venture to find out where all this money people talking about, 94 million, where does money come from? Okay. That's not a little touch of money, right? Plenty money.
Well, how these people obtain that amount of money, I don't know, but I have certain suspicion, because an individual who does not have any sort of employment or is not employed anyway, doesn't have a skill or a trade, and where are you getting this money from?
Well, I have a little talking to people from the Arima area, especially Greenville people. A lot of people get big money up there. Big money is big money. 30,000 all kind of people get there, but relief or anything. So probably that is money. But I want to get to the bottom of it, because coming Monday, Monday come out this budget read. If we had to dig deeper in the pocket now, yeah. Monday when that budget read and explain and the reality come. Because the government have a shortfall of revenue. So who had to pay for that? Me and you. We had to drive our old car. I wish I could have drive a new car, but I can't afford it. But I want somebody federal. And the thing is, it has so much organization responsible for this thing. FIU, you have London Police, you have FBI to find out where this money come out from. I want to know that. So this is I'm going to rest until somebody give me something credible. Because I ain't believing Gary again, because I'm not a Gary fan, and Gary going to see football, and let Gary enjoy football.
No, man, the man ain't going to see football. The man going to spend time with his son. Why all the fellas like this?
No, he say his son want to be a professional footballer.
Well, his son is a professional footballer in Scotland, in Ireland.
Well, Chris said correct.
Yeah.
People playing football behind closed doors. I wish him well, but...
So, hold on. So, if you have a son, and he is playing, let's say, a significant match, even though it's in a bubble, as a parent, don't you think it is your mandate or is your responsibility to support him?
Yes, but the law tell me don't go wrong there. The law tell me don't go wrong. There's a bubble. I'm not allowed there. With the cricket in Trinidad there, it was very serious. There's a bubble. You can't go watch it on TV. Again,
No.
I fell about Gary.
No, but hold on. Let me ask a question. So when is the opportune time for an office holder to go on vacation?
Well, anytime he choose.
Very good.
Anytime you choose to go, you can go. But this vacation is a smoke screen. But let me leave it there at that. I'm going to watch my cricket from 9 o'clock in the morning. Breathtaking cricket, Mike.
Oh, you mean the Indian Premier League?
Yeah, breathtaking cricket.
All right, my friend. I hear you. Thank you very much for your contribution here with me this morning. Yeah. So I'm just trying to share some information with you, the listening audience, about what is a restraining order and so on. Let's take this call on the line. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 975. Good morning.
Hey, morning, Santa.
Good morning, Kendrick. Yes, good. Yeah, Santa Cruz. Go ahead. What's on your mind?
Good to say good morning, Santa Cruz. Yeah, well, I listened there as well. I mean, that's why I ain't called, but others be locked on. To me, from what I see where I live in Santa Cruz, it's a little of everything. Societal, religious, everything, rural, urban, everything. But you see what is going on now, the people who could help the situation, some of them ain't doing anything because they go sit in our business.
Quite true. You hit the nail on it. That's not any business. You know what? Let me just turn a blind eye. This is not happening.
It does not happen at all.
Yeah.
Because I will relate to a situation. There is an individual where I live, right? And there's a man I talking about, Kenrick. And people that's on men just go through that. His wife just beat him. And this is no joke. He live in the village. And the woman many times that is my friend, you can't say nothing. And what he do? He had a heart problem, so he just boiled down to the fact that he had heart surgery, so what he could do again. So it is equally based across the board when it comes to gender and everything. But as again, the people in the village and all of this thing, because many times I say, I will not come in all your house and tell you solve the problem about it, but what you're doing is wrong.
No, but I am saying to you and the listening audience this morning, and people can challenge me, that's okay. A protection order or a restraining order does not necessarily mean to say that you are safe from the abuser.
No, you're very good.
There's an unguarded moment where the abuser, if he so feel, he can take you out.
Yeah. My father was a police, I was always there, and he used to say the same thing. He said a protection order does not protect the abused at no given time.
The most an officer can do, and I stand to be corrected, is to warn and caution. I cannot lock you up. It's not a criminal offense.
Well, I don't know. It's very difficult because it's locked in religious issues in the Quran. Tell you could flog your wife and this and that and all kind of things. I can't remember the exact chapter and verse. But it is said that, so you see, people some take that to a different level.
Look, there is no quick fix solution to this matter.
No quick fix.
I'm saying to you and the listening audience, it's a societal problem. We need to be proactive as to opposed to reactive. By that I mean to prevent situation like this from happening. Not look for answers and blame one another after the incident would have occurred.
Correct. Very correct. And one final thing, he abused So, probably I should be. Well, let me say what I want. It's not like I'm attacking the abuse. The abusers should, some way deep inside, to be able to swallow for years. Because the abuse on them, ever so often, has come back and go. My father told me that, as his days, that the woman get licks, and he still she go back, I love him. I drop the case. But once you raise your hand, once you can raise your hand a second time. So, we don't know. So all parties across the board, the abuser, the abused society, everybody has to try to fix that problem.
All right, my friend. I thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right, thank you very much for your contribution here with me this morning. And so I'm just trying to share some information with you, right? According to my information here, when you first get a protection order under the law, it is only temporary. The order is called a TRO, for temporary restraining order. Let's take this call on the line. Hello, good morning, and welcome to 975.
Belmont again.
Good morning, Belmont.
Although the order is temporary, nothing is being done. Nothing is being done to assist the perpetrator. Nothing is being done, and he continues to do what he's doing. This one year, the murder yesterday. The mother said the man was an alcoholic. Now, when they say alcoholic, you doesn't know what they're really taking. They'll be taking alcohol as a front, but they're taking other drugs. And if this man was mentally examined and see the need to be hospitalized and treated, we wouldn't have been having that in the papers today. The man would have been better off. He'd have been sober. He'd have come back to his senses. Nobody didn't born to kill nobody. They developed that because of the mental inefficiency. And I work with those sick people in Revert House for more than 40 years. And I know it's a sickness that they have to work on. The mental illness. There are a lot of mentally ill people at large. And if they don't help them, you'll have murders every day. Amend the Mental Health Act. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Belmont, for your contribution. Well, let me ask you a question. You're talking about amending the Mental Health Act. But first of all, that person who is afflicted must reach out for help. A police officer cannot look at you and say, well, you're mentally ill, carry you by a doctor. No, he cannot do that. He is interfering with your constitutional right. As an individual, you have to make the determination whether you want help or not. Someone can say you're an alcoholic. Well, fine. But I have to reach out for help. My family will have to, influence me to reach out for help. No police officer or no institution could force me to get help. It is up to me, the individual. If I determine, well, okay, I need help. Let's take this call on the line. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 975. Good morning.
Morning, Kevin.
Good morning.
I listen to you, but let me tell Belmont something. The fella that do the killing, I understand on the news that he was an electrician. So if he's an electrician, then after he had to be a really educated fella.
Yeah, because he can be mentally ill and perform as a tradesman. Huh?
That is what I'm saying. That is what I'm trying to... You see, every time Belmont talk about many mental health act and all that kind of thing, I don't have no problem with that. But the point about driving with you, that this fella is an electrician, he can't do electrical work in people's house because if you say the man is a murderer. Number one, who put rum in his mouth and make him an alcoholic? Who gave him things to use to make him what he's supposed to be? Who gave him the cutlass to go and chop the woman? All these kind of questions, these fellas don't know exactly what the hell they was doing. All of them know that, mad or no mad. If that man playing mad, to just go in sentence to say they're mad and they will get away from the court. That same fella you take care after he get good, and you came in from the court, you go plead not guilty. And you have a lawyer to help him to say that he didn't chop the woman chop he. Or the woman attack he and he chop the woman, all them kind of foolishness. So let me tell Belmont something. Nobody don't put it in your mouth. Nobody don't ask you to go and buy it. Nobody don't come under your bed and say, hey, look, take it. And nobody don't tell you to go and kill your wife or to go and do this or to do that or to do the other. Nobody don't tell you them things. That is a family situation from generation to generation to generation, and the generation don't want to fix it. Later, part.
All right, friend. Now, thank you very much for your contribution. We need to go up to the 8 o'clock news hour. And when we come back, we'll continue with our discussion. 975 FM, Hot Like Pepper. Stay with us here.
Time has come. New 97.5. Make it your choice. Something for everyone. 975 FM. Music for you. It's all about you. 97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper, multicultural radio.
Power to the listeners.
It is now time for major news to the hour. It comes to you with the very kind compliments of Super Quality Supermarket, Sheikh Lisha Limited, the Trinidad and Tobago Newsday, and Darpan Trading Company Limited.
This is the ATM News on U97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. I am Umarajan Singh. Good morning. The mother of Rishma Kanchan is blaming officers of the Pinal police station for her daughter's death. She said that several reports made to the station were ignored. According to her, she and her daughter have been receiving threats from the man who allegedly beheaded Kanchan yesterday. The grieving mother said her daughter and the suspect were separated. The incident took place yesterday in Pinal. The man allegedly bounced Kanchan before chopping and beheading her. He then slit his throat. The suspect is now under police watch at the San Fernando General Hospital. Five men have been arrested on suspicion of trafficking firearms yesterday, following a bust at a bonded warehouse in El Socorro Trade Zone. Reports indicate that firearm and ammunition were recovered during a series of anti-crime exercises by members of the San Juan and Morpher Criminal Investigations Departments and the Northeastern Division Task Force. The lawmen proceeded to Nazim Avenue, where they confronted five men who were loading bags into a white panel van. On spotting the officers, the men allegedly ran but were pursued by the officers. A 39-year-old El Socorro resident was caught and arrested. Meanwhile, 3 pistols and 2 air rifles were reportedly found in the panel van, along with a .38 revolver and 106 rounds of ammunition. 4 men were subsequently held after assistance was received from both the air support and K9 units. An unidentified man was shot dead yesterday morning by an 84-year-old retired game warden. According to police reports, the suspect was attempting to steal the pensioner's van at his home in Tableland. However, the holder of a licensed firearm was alerted by his son that people were in the garage of the family's home. He took his firearm and went to the garage, where he observed 2 strange men with faces covered by hoodies and the engine of his truck on. The elderly man ordered the 2 to exit the property, but one of the suspects pointed his firearm at the 2 men. Fearful for his life, he shot at the armed man, while the other suspect fled the scene. The police were notified and officers from the Tableland police station responded and found the deceased on the ground of the garage, and next to him was a loaded firearm and tools which police believe were used to break into the home. No one else was injured in the incident. The National Carnival Commission of Trinidad and Tobago is supporting Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley's decision to postpone Carnival 2021 in light of COVID-19 pandemic. According to a statement on Tuesday, the NCC said Dr. Rowley was correct to put the health and well-being of the nation over the economy. The San Fernando City Corporation claims it has received several reports of a gas odor permeating the inner city. Upon investigation, the SFCC ascertained that the National Gas Company is currently conducting upgrade exercise at the Rushworth Street gas station and identified the location as the source of the stench. However, the NGC claims that pamphlets were distributed notifying the public of the exercise. However, the company has since apologized after realizing that the relevant departments of the SFCC were unaware of this undertaking. And now for regional news. A Partnership for National Unity is investigating why an agreement between the APNU and the Alliance for Change fell apart during the election of chair and vice chair of the Regional Democratic Councils in Guyana. There was an agreement between the APNU and AFC about the chair and vice chair. The situation, which arose as the election is under investigation, according to the General Secretary, Joseph Harmon. And internationally to India, according to a BBC report. As of Wednesday, India has reported more than 6.1 million cases and 96,000 deaths, according to data compiled by Johns Hopkins University. The survey suggests that for every one infection officially reported, there are actually 26 to 32 people infected who slipped through the cracks, according to Dr. Balram Bhargava, Director of the Medical Council. This falls in line with what many experts have warned for months, that India's coronavirus crisis may be much more dire than official figures suggest. And on to the weather report. Partly cloudy conditions with scattered light to moderate showers. There is a 60 to 70% chance of the thunderstorms favoring the morning and early afternoon. Generally settled evening with a few lingering showers. Seas will be slight to moderate with waves up to 2.5 meters in open waters and less than 1 meter in sheltered areas. The current temperature is 25 degrees Celsius and expected to reach a high of 32 degrees Celsius as the day progresses. And that brings us to the end of the 8 a.m. news on U97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. Join us at 12 p.m. for major news. I am Uma Ratan Singh. Have a safe and good morning.
That was Major News to the Hour, brought to you with the very kind compliments of Super Quality Supermarket, Sheikh Lisha Limited, the Trinidad and Tobago Newsday, and Darpan Trading Company Limited.
Kathy's Cool Spot Enterprises Limited, number 86 Pearville, opposite the TSTT Exchange in Mayaro. We specialize in all types of meats, dry goods, liquor, beverages, ice, LPG, gas, motor oils, stationery supplies, and photocopying. We also provide rentals of tents and chairs for your every occasion. Come in and take advantage of our specials at reduced prices on liquor, wholesale, and retail. We are open every day, even on public holidays, for your convenience. months. TT Post services are available here at Kathy's Cool Spot Enterprises Limited of number 86 Pearville, Mayaro, where our friendly staff will be happy to serve you.
Attention all bakers, doubles vendors and roti makers. Try our high quality unbleached bromate free all purpose and baker's flour. Low price and conveniently packaged in 2 pounds, 2 kg, 10 kg and 25 kg bags. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Shiklisha Limited 665-3336 or visit us at Warrenville, Canupia. Shiklisha Limited, quality you can trust.
For quality items, visit Super Quality Supermarket of Endeavour Road, Chaguanas, and Trin City Industrial Estate in Trin City, as well as Quality Cash and Carry Supermarket, Cuba Car Park, for all your grocery items, liquor, fresh fruits, and vegetables, not forgetting their bed and bath section, and kitchen appliances for your home. With so many items to choose from, take advantage of our great prices and discounts at any of our 3 locations: Trin City Industrial Estate in Trin City, Endeavour Road, Chaguanas, and Cuba. For quality items, Super Quality Supermarket and Quality Cash and Carry Supermarket.
U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio is now on Facebook. Like us, follow and share our page. We'll be sharing the latest news, tips and much more. You can also view what's happening in our studio. Find us on YouTube and subscribe to our channel at RCL U975.
Indeed, and a very good morning again, Trinidad and Tobago, and thanks for staying with us here at 975. Well, with me on the line now is Superintendent Claire Guy Alain, who is the head of the Gender-Based Violence Unit of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. We're going to have our interview with her to discuss some of the challenges facing the unit and moving forward as it relates to the number of domestic violence facing Trinidad and Tobago. Let's take her live on air. Good morning, Superintendent, and thanks for taking our call this morning.
And good morning to you, and good morning to the listening public.
Well, certainly this matter, the murder of this young lady yesterday, would have captured the imagination, and it's the narrative on all or most media houses this morning. Now, a unit was launched on January 21st, 2020. It's the Gender-Based Violence Unit of Trinidad and Tobago, headed by yourself. What is the mandate, or what is the objective of this unit?
This unit was formed to investigate domestic violence against intimate partners and family violence throughout Trinidad and Tobago. But first of all, before I go there, I would like to extend my condolences to the family of the deceased. It is indeed a sad day in Trinidad and Tobago when someone could commit such heinous crime against another person.
But having said that, could you share with us, Superintendent, the real essence of a protection and restraining order, and more so, what powers that the police have in relation to this?
Well, when it comes to protection order, first and foremost, the applicant or someone on behalf of the applicant must apply for a protection order. In this instance, I would have to check our records, but a cursory glance of our records would show that the protection order was not issued in this instance, but I would still have to verify that information, right? A protection order is a document issued by the court preventing a respondent from behaving or conducting himself in certain conduct that will constitute an offense under different acts. For example, assault and beat someone, to stay a certain amount of meters or feet away from someone. You know, there are a series of things that the magistrate can issue in that order that prohibits the respondent from certain conduct.
Superintendent, can you outline to us, are there differences between a protection order and a restraining order? Share with us.
Well, some persons use the phrase they use the phrase at different times. But in local parlance, it means the same thing. But however, when it comes to legal, a protection order is a document issued under the Domestic Violence Act, 45 of 56, which was amended recently in July. It was amended, and it's now Act 18 of 2020 with some new amendments. It extended a lot of factors in the act that protects the victim.
Superintendent, this matter, as I said, would have attracted a public conversation. Now, the victim's mother is claiming, or rather blaming the TTPS for this heinous crime. In this respect, what powers the police officer have in all of this? So what sort of powers he have? In essence, if a report is made of any domestic violence and there's a restraining order, and the perpetrator in this respect continues to behave in a particular way, what sort of power the police officer have within him as guided by law?
Right. Once a report is made, and let us say that the protection order is in effect, which I have not confirmed in this instance. I have not confirmed that the mother or the deceased had a protection order against the alleged perpetrator. However, once the protection order is in effect, right? And you remember we spoke before of the list of circumstances of conduct that the respondent is prohibited from doing. The respondent in this case is the alleged perpetrator. If he breaches any of those things listed by the magistrate on order, the police have an immediate power to arrest the perpetrator on site without a warrant. Right? It's a process too, because a statement must be given by the victim or victims and witnesses. Remember, the police was not there, so the police must have a written and signed account as to the event so that the matter can go before the court.
Well, I'm trying to get as much information from you as possibly, because there's a lot of misinformation outside here. Let's put forward the narrative again. The victim's mother is claiming that a report was made, not as opposed to breaking a protection order. She's claiming that a report was made. In light of a report being made, what powers do the police officer have in this instance?
Right. The report that was made, we have to establish what was the report that was made, because the police have different actions, and like I'm explaining, for the police to go before the court, we expect that victims and witnesses will cooperate with the process and trust the process. What we have in some instances, I'm not saying that that is the case in this instance. What we have in some instances, people feel that if they call the station and they make a report, that the police can just come out and arrest just like that and take the person before the court.
That cannot happen.
That cannot happen. Not in Trinidad and Tobago. The laws of Trinidad and Tobago, an investigation must be conducted. Now, if the police officer comes out and a domestic violence situation is happening in a house, the police, if the house is locked up and whatever, under the Domestic Violence Act, the police officer can enter that house without a warrant. Remember, a man's home is his castle, right? But under the Domestic Violence Act, the police, once a domestic situation is happening in a house, the police does not require a warrant to enter that premises. We can enter that premises by force and save the victim, arrest the perpetrator instantly.
All right, let's move on to another area of concern here. As a head of the gender-based violence unit, what sort of help or measures the unit engages in reaching out to relatives and family members of victims?
Right. We since the formation of the unit in January, we have been conducting several outreach programs. Just like I'm speaking on the radio now to the public, this is not the first time that the gender-based violence unit has been on the radio. We have used all platforms, radio, TV, social media. We have gone in person, well, before COVID, that is. We have partnership with the Office of the Prime Minister, private entities, NGOs, to spread the word around about domestic violence and what a victim or persons who witness domestic violence, what they can do. So it's a conversation that is had all the time.
All right. Given all that you have said to us this morning, Superintendent, do you share the view of many that in the environment in which the TTPS, the society, is operating in today, this COVID-19 environment, that the gender-based violence unit comes more into question because of people staying at home and their social consequences, social impact, and so on? Do you anticipate an increase in gender-based violence in this entire environment?
I anticipate there would be an increase, because we have persons who are not normally being at home with each other. We have persons now are in each other's space. You know, it is more now. And human beings, I don't understand what is happening. You know, like there's a situation now because, no normal human being is going to watch another human being, you know, and sever somebody's neck or, that's not normal. It goes further to some mental illness. In my opinion, it goes further than what we are just seeing before the eyes.
All right, so, Superintendent, is this? You're not a psychologist. Is this scenario which we are seeing, this development we are seeing, is it a rural problem? Is it an urban problem? Is it a cultural problem? Is it a ethnic problem? Societal problem? What is it? Share your information with us.
I would extend it to be a global problem, a societal problem. It is a serious problem. It's an ugly Scrooge that I wish to be destroyed and eliminated totally from society. People need to live in love and harmony and peace, you know? And this starts from a very tender age. Tender age. We have to stop telling children, if somebody lash you, lash them back. No. Violence is not an answer to no solution of any problem. That is the kind of narrative we need to start to have in society. You understand?
What now, Superintendent, are the roles of churches, religious organizations, leaders in our society to treat with matters like these? What sort of roles do they have?
I love that question, because you know what? Domestic violence is not a police issue only. Yes, when something happens, people come out and blame the police, and they blame the police over and over. At the end of the day, we each have our parts to play in a domestic violence situation. We each have our parts to play. You know, long time, in the Bible, the marriage is sacred. And you would always, long ago, people would tell people in domestic violence situation, go back to your husband, go back to your wife. No. Violence, say no to violence. If there's a violent situation in the home, assist the family by removing the family from the home and get that family help. Help is needed. People don't just hit out and lash out to people. No, do that.
In other words, you are calling on people who are harboring these thoughts to seek out help. And there are agencies in the country which can reach out to you. But first of all, there must be an admission that you need help. In the absence of that, you react arbitrarily. Now, Superintendent, what would be your message to basically young women out there who are involved in abusive relationship? What would be your message to them this morning?
My message to these women: do not accept violence. It's not anything to be accepted at all. Do not accept violence. Report the violence, right? And let the police do their investigation. Trust the police. Take the advice of the police officers and cooperate with the process. We have some victims will tell you, oh, it's the first time that he has done this to me. And, somebody will throw a hot kettle of water on you. You have been in hospital for days. And when the police come to you for a statement, you don't want to give a statement because you don't want the perpetrator arrested and charged.
And that
happen to you is a serious crime.
And that's a reality, That's a reality in some of these instances.
That's the reality.
Because You see, and I'm glad that I'm having this conversation with you because often the people have a tendency, the families of victims tend to point fingers at the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service.
Yes.
But the police, the TTPS, I'm not an advocate for or making any sort of excuse for the TTPS because the TTPS can only act within the ambit of the law, yes?
Correct. And we expect persons to cooperate with us.
Mm-hmm.
Don't tell people, don't say, I'm just making a report for making a report's sake. The police station is not a rum shop or a grocery that you can just come. The police station is a place where you come. If you are wronged in something, you come to the police for help. So if the police is saying, listen, I need to get a statement from you, I need to visit the scene. Remember, this matter, we are going to the court. So the more evidence that you have, because the threshold before the court is very high in proving your matter. So there are things that we have to do, not just making the report and the police make an arrest.
Okay, this morning, given the incident which would have occurred yesterday, what sort of form of action or what measures the gender-based violence unit will be taking this morning as it relates to what would have transpired yesterday?
Well, I am still assessing. We are the gender-based violence unit. We would assess where the police may have gone wrong. I'm not saying that the police went wrong. We are not a perfect organization, but I am still in the process of looking to see what we could have done better to prevent or to alleviate what had happened yesterday.
In other words, you're talking here about. I said this morning we need to be proactive as opposed to being reactive. Yeah.
Correct, and we look at each case. Yes, we try to do a lot of proactive stuff, but as things happen, we would look at what happened, assess it, and see what measures could be put in place. What further measures? The Commissioner of Police, Mr. Gary Griffith, thank God for him. He saw what was happening in society and he launched this unit. It's good to have specialized officers within an organization dealing with special victims.
All right. You had the gender-based violence unit. In terms of people who are, let's say, involved in abusive relationship, is there a hotline number where they can reach out to?
Well, we still have. Well, we are indeed police officers, and we are part of the CPPS. So we have the 999, we have the 555, we have the online reporting, we have different platforms that reports can be made, and it will reach the gender-based.
All right.
We also have gender-based violence officers throughout Trinidad and Tobago, not at every police station, but we have 9 policing divisions, and we have gender-based officers assigned to each division.
So I said this morning that we cannot cast aspersion or point fingers in any direction until a conclusive investigation is completed, and then we can make our own judgment. All right. Superintendent, I want to thank you very much for sharing your thoughts with us this morning. It's a pleasure talking to you, and I hope that we can chat again in the future.
Thank you for having me. Have a blessed day.
And thank you very much. That's the voice there of head of the gender-based violence unit of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, Superintendent Claire Guy Allen, sharing some thoughts with us this morning. I hope that my conversation with her would have shed some light on what is the role of the TTPS as it relates to gender-based violence. Let's take this caller on the line. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 975. Good morning.
Mr. Jagannath,
good morning.
Very good in having the superintendent available. Now, if she said that the victim need help, but the perpetrator also need help. And the police reported to the police. The police, the mother of the child tell you they're going to the police 3 years now, and this morning papers it is stated that if the police did certain things, the daughter would have been alive. The police telling you they have no reason to lock up. Well, why didn't they amend the Mental Health Act so that when this is reported, a mental officer will visit the perpetrator and have him examined, and if he needs psychiatrist help, they will know what drugs he's under, they will know his mental state, and they will know if he'll break down and kill. Because when someone wants to kill himself, or they attempt to kill himself, this man chop his neck, he chop off the woman's neck, and then he chop his own neck. He has to be out of his head.
All right.
If that man had been given mental assistance before, and this morning I hear it been said that I say check It's not to go and check mad people or the whole population. It's to check potential perpetrators, have them examined by a mental health officer, and the mental health officer will say if they need further observation and whether they need help.
Hello, good morning. Welcome to 975. Good morning.
Good morning, Ken.
Yeah, good morning, Chris.
Ken, there is a lot of problems out in this society.
Mm-hmm.
But not everybody pickpocket and kill somebody.
Quite true.
There are people who just can't handle it.
Mm-hmm.
And I tend to agree with Mr. Belmont as far as that's concerned. Now, they talk about a protection order. A protection order is a piece of paper that outlines certain things. But the person who it is put up against, that person isn't thinking straight. That person is thinking, okay, the law says so and I have to respect the law. That might just push them over the edge. So when somebody go to get a protection order, I think there should be an investigation. Who is this person against whom this order is being placed? What kind of person is he? Is he susceptible to some violence? Is he outstanding citizen that some false charge is brought against him? Some preliminary kind of investigation should be done before this order is given. It may be the same day, a few phone calls or whatever, and if necessary, have the mental act say this person could be taken for evaluation, because every life that's saved, it is worth it. This woman, that she has 2 children behind her.
Mm-hmm.
2 children who have no parents now. And the stigma with them for the rest of their lives, who knows what they could turn out to be in the end. So I agree with Mr. Belmont. It is time that we look at this mental act and see what we could do to protect the people, because this paper don't protect nobody.
Quite true. Well, I said that this morning. A protection order, a restraining order, basically is the same. Does not give you that necessary protection. In essence, in the thief of night, on an unguarded moment, you can have the perpetrator in this respect committing some sort of heinous crime, as we would have seen yesterday. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 975. Good morning.
Good morning, and good morning to TNT, and sympathy to the relatives of Rishma.
Good morning to you.
Make a small contribution here.
Sure, go ahead.
We live in a community, and we look out for one another.
Well, I'm sorry, ma'am. I did not cut you off. You can call me back. Something is wrong with your connection with us in the studio here. You can call us back at 6 at 367547 2275739. And yes, I'm hoping that maybe my conversation with Superintendent Claire Guy Allen this morning would have cleared up some gray areas. She said there's no an investigation is ongoing, and there is no report, according to her, of any restraining or protection order being issued. The matter will be investigated by the TTPS and by members of the gender-based violence unit. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 975. Good morning.
Morning, Ken. How are you doing?
Well, I trying to deal with a situation here and trying to share some information with people, and I hope that the listening audience also they appreciate what I've been trying to do this morning. Go ahead.
Yes, I saw that. I want to agree with Chris and Mr. Belmont, because I'm looking at the preventative side.
Being proactive.
Yes, the preventative side of it. And I think we've got to move into that, because what is happening is that we have the arrest and all of that side. That is when the police come and the protection order and all of that. But I had some, when I was a public servant in the social welfare department, and I know about these protection orders and stuff. And really and truly, when somebody is not operating in a socially acceptable way, those things mean very little to them, as Chris said.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't mean anything to them as a piece of paper.
Quite true. I agree with you.
As far as they're concerned, we are talking about, what is that? Connect. And I'm saying that it appears to me, I want to support Mr. Belmont and Chris on that there seems to be a greater focus on the preventative side. So you'd bring in, I don't know what it is, whether they need to change the mental act, but there needs to be some kind of intervention that will improve the preventative side, so that there'll be a greater amount of analysis So when the police steps in, and the police say, well, look, I can't lock him up, because he ain't do nothing yet, just talking. During that phase, there should be some approach. I don't know whether a law has to be, we have to go to Parliament to do that, that person now will have to be evaluated, psychologically and things like that. And in that process, I think sometimes you may be able to get some prevention and reduce the number of acts like that. And I want to say at the same time, I want to extend condolences to the family and stuff in this matter, but I think it's a very important discussion we're having. Very, very important discussion. And I think that I hope that the powers that be pay attention to that suggestion.
No, but Mr. Dabadi, what more could have been done to ensure that incidents like this, that did not happen? What could we do? I'm talking here about the role of leaders in the society, family members, friends, leaders in the community. What more could people have done?
Well, like I said, I think part of that responsibility rules is a whole. Somebody said it's a whole societal. I think the officer said that it's a global and societal thing, and information and so on. And people, lots of people, sometimes they don't say anything. They hear about that, that's not their business, because a lot of times they themselves get tied up in it. So I think the state may have to take a greater role in that, because it is so much of a societal problem. It's really impacting on the society as a whole. Mm-hmm. And in that regard, I think the gender-based violence, if you notice it's the gender-based violence, but I don't know how much focus they're putting on prevention. Mm-hmm. That side, as I said before. So I think perhaps they need to get tied in. I don't know if they have, within the gender-based violence unit, whether they have psychologists and psychiatrists and people like that who would be on hand to do that type of evaluation in a situation like that. At the moment, I think what happens is that the restraining order is given. As I said, I have a little limited experience in that, having been a public servant in the social welfare section, and the person comes in and they give a restraining order, and that's it. And the police say, well, listen, you can't come between how much distance and this and that. But between that phase, there is some need for evaluation of that particular person, that person who they say is doing all of that. And I don't know whether that is taking place. And if it's not, I think there must be a systematic way to analyze that person so that we could be able to identify any challenge that person has, so that we'll be able to reduce the number of gender-based violence.
Mr. Davadi, as a parent yourself, what would you say to young women who, let's say, living experiences of having to endure abuse, violent and otherwise, verbal and otherwise, from their spouses? What message would you have to them this morning?
Well, what I would say is that I think it's something that got the Prime Minister in trouble.
Yes, true. I mentioned that this morning. Yeah.
That got the Prime Minister in trouble.
He said, women, be careful of the relationship or foster. Yeah. Choose only men wisely.
And I want to put it as simple as that.
Mm-hmm.
As very simple as that. And I have my daughter. I mean, she's a boy, but we always talk about her. Michelle, listen, you've got to understand these things. These are on the surface. You don't see somebody, there's a lot of investigative work. Or children get involved with people who could dance well. When they look at nice.
Yeah.
But they're well dressed.
And
they have a nice car.
And they have bling bling.
And they have bling bling. They have a nice car. They have this. But there is a need for a deeper search within. You've got to understand the background that person has been involved in. Mm-hmm. And a long time people used to say, well, what's your family name? That's important. Mm-hmm. Because that creates the environment in which that person lives. And it creates their behavior and so on later on in life. If that person was in an abused relationship, eventually they're going to start to abuse whoever that is. So I think there's a need for young people to pay greater attention to the people with whom they connect and who they share their relationship with. They've got to have a greater amount of examination, and they've got to, at the same time, be guided by information. So you like this person, they look nice and everything, but you've got to do some sweep on understanding of who this person is. You know about so-and-so, what kind of person that is, and so on. Therefore, you're not going to be trapped with the bling bling. You're not going to be trapped with the fancy, all the fancy things that they have. Because that is just surface. You've got to get a little deeper in. And I'm going to end that the Prime Minister say, yeah, careful who you're going to fall in love with and who you want to fall in love with.
Thank you.
I hope I can get something for that.
Thank you very much for your thank you very much. That's our good friend here, Mr. Davidi. Always enjoy my conversation with him on a morning. Let's take another call on the line. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Hey, Ken, morning.
Hi, good morning, Brian. How are you going? What's happening? Brian, as an attorney at law, let me provoke you here this morning. Outline to me if you have a case to defend in court and this matter, explain to me the difference between a protection order, a restraining order, and in matters like these, if a report is made to police as it relates to whatever happened yesterday, a report is made to the police, what sort of power does the police have? Go ahead.
Well, on your first question, there's no big difference between a protection order and a restraining order.
All right, go ahead.
But it is governed, I think it's an issue of domestic violence.
Mm-hmm.
Domestic violence is governed by the Domestic Violence Act, as well as that of the amendment to legislation, which would have been a 2019, I believe, amendment. A protection order / restraining order can and only be granted by the court, right? But that is by where a person has to make the application, who is the applicant, and they will claim that they are a person who is a victim of domestic violence, and the person will be summons will be given to the person they're bringing it again.
And okay, hold on. And in breaking that protection order, what powers the police have?
The police have once there's a breach of such an order, the police must immediately be informed, and the police must act immediately. Where that person will be taken into custody for the breach of such an order, right? With making a report, once it's an issue of domestic violence, a police officer of whatever rank that they may be must take the report as is. They can either do one of two things. They can call the individual and say, sir, we have an issue here, as the lady or gentleman, but believe it or not, men are also the victims of domestic violence, right? And they will inform the other individual. They may even visit that individual as well, okay? And also, the CPS has a unit called the Gender-Based Violence Unit.
Yeah, well, I just spoke to the head of that unit.
Oh, sorry, I missed it.
Yeah.
Right? And that unit, which the Commissioner of Police made sure to create that unit. That unit is there to ensure that these things are enforced upon and these type of events do not occur. I mean, it is very heart-wrenching to see the images that came out of that incident. I don't even want to talk about it. But what has to happen is that people must know, if you are the victim of domestic violence, for God's sake, get out of that relationship. Get out. By whatever means, get out of that relationship. I have represented persons.
No, but hold on. Let's stick with this matter yesterday. According to claims being made by the victim's mother, the young lady in question would have, or the victim would have been living in this relationship for the past 5 years, and she took the liberty, or rather made the decision to walk away and move on with her life.
Yeah. Well, there are some men too. They how to put it? They act as though they can't live without you. But when they're living with you, they make your life a living hell. I had a matter once.
So, in essence, this is not only a TTPS problem. This is a societal problem.
It is. It is a societal problem. I don't think TTPS can take any blame for what has happened, right? I don't know all the issues of that particular case, but I can tell you that once the Gender-Based Violence Unit act, I do know that they act immediately. From my own experience as a practicing attorney, especially in matters of DV, which is known as domestic violence. But also, people they don't know this, but there's also something called harassment. Harassment falls under the law as well, but not domestic violence. It falls under the Offenses Against the Person Act.
Yeah, but hold on, Brian. But that does not, let's say, restrain the perpetrator, whether you have a restraining order or whether you have a protection order. That does not necessarily mean to say that let's say, the abuser, in this case, would be protected, because there's something called in an unguarded moment, something untoward can happen, as what would have transpired yesterday. You cannot prevent that. How can you prevent that?
Well, I wouldn't disagree with that. I mean, yes, people would say a protection order or restraining order is just a piece of paper. However, fact is what is there to be given. Right? Yes, a person, when an order is given and they're given this, there is that sense of security that you have a restraining order. But it's not like you can't stop the man from watching you from across the road.
Yeah, quite true.
But he has to know he's across the road watching you, and the restraining order has 100 meters, and you're within that. All that individual has to say, anyone, walk away, go straight to the nearest police station. Right? But we do have some people, I can tell you, who have had restraining orders, and because of the issue of children, they allow the individual who they have the order against into the home, to see the child, and you know what happens there?
And that creates a very bad, very uncomfortable environment.
Sometimes, and then I always tell people that a security guardian is a different type of individual, in that one thing we love to do is to provoke people. I can tell you, I've had a matter, the person got the restraining order, but in the order, the husband was allowed to come to visit or pick up the child. And I had to tell my client, listen, when the man come, let him pick up the child, let him go. Don't say nothing, don't tell the man nothing, just say, hello, good morning. Pick up the child ready, sir, then stop. Pick up the child. There are times when she would just put this on words, say, trying to get up on the food. Don't do that. You would just provoke the man.
All right, Brian. Well, I hear you. You see how I enjoy talking to you, because you're sharing information with us this morning. Thank you very much, Brian.
I would just leave you with this step. That the people children today with domestic violence is as real as it can be. It must not reach to that level as what we saw in penal. I ask people, if you are in such a relationship, get out. If you have to get a attorney to get a restraining order or protection order, for God's sake, do it less.
All right, Brian. Thank you very much. Our good friend there, Brian Big, sharing some information and thoughts with us this morning. Let's take some other callers on the line. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Morning, Mr. Kernica. Good morning, Trinidad.
Good morning to you.
But you know, it's like, this topic we call on for the rest of the day with with calls back to back, and it's such a topic that affects everybody. And then I want to recommend maybe we could, maybe those of us, people in this situation, beside the lack of support, we were not prepared for this relationship thing. And you know, if we could have some programs, maybe adult program, where we could kind of more prepare people before they get into relationships. You know, somebody at some level of counseling and so on. Because at the end of the day, it's truly somebody who breaks down in the midst of everything. And we had to try something, because I mean, there's no solution to actually stop it completely. But I think it has some impact on it. So maybe the church and the society, we need to get more involved in something. Because I mean, you're not calling you that station, whole morning, all the station this morning covered this. And it's like everything concerning domestic violence and family and so on.
All right, my friend. Yeah. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, dear.
I had to call in this morning, right, because I am listening to your program,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody keeps talking about protection order, right? My sister, I have a man right now at this moment who threatened her to rape her, slit her throat. She went to the court, she made many reports at Chaguanas police station, All they did, come and warn you, man. She went to take out the protection order. Up to this day, there is nothing done, nothing. And it even happened to me in a similar situation where this guy put a power saw feet away from me, coming up, and he said he was shocking me up with a power saw. I reported the same matter, and all they did was just come and warn.
That's the most the police officer can do.
You know what the police officer tell me?
Uh-huh.
When somebody dies, they will come and see.
No, what were you hoping for that the police officer do when you made that report that your life has been threatened?
Well, at least the police, in my mind, they will at least do something, to protect you in some way.
Mm-hmm. In what way?
That's where the protection order come in. But even when you get a protection order, if I'm wrong, personally, but it have an expiry date on it too.
Mm-hmm. It's a temporary order.
You have to go back again
Uh-huh.
and do the same thing again. And when you go back to do the same thing again, they give you a court date, and then you have to you don't get through.
No, but if someone is threatening you and you make a report to the police is limited in terms of powers because they cannot arrest the man, they can caution him.
Well, you see, this is where the problem comes in.
Mm-hmm.
I understand what you're saying, but that is where the problem comes in. Because when you call a police station and you make a report, they will tell you they are coming. If something happens in the morning, 9 o'clock, they come by you by 7.
Mm-hmm.
So within that period of time, the person will die.
Mm-hmm.
So that therefore, something else has to come in place. I don't know what. But people who really need the police, there have to be something else they can do. I don't know. But I can tell you for myself, I make so many reports, and I see my sisters going through the same thing, and it discourages you to even call a police when something happens. Because it even happened at my work, where a man come and strangled me. And that happened 9 o'clock in the morning. And the police come about 8 o'clock.
All right, well, I hear you, and I sympathize with your situation, but I'm trying to be a realist here. In essence, the police officer in this respect, their powers are limited, and I'm sure you agree with me. Hello, good morning. Well, all right, that's it for our program for the day. Just about 6 minutes here to the hour of 9 o'clock. I am Kenrick Jaggernaut, inviting you to join me again tomorrow just after the 6 o'clock hour. But our lines are still burning up. Let me take this final call on the line. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 975. Good morning.
Thank you, Kendrick. And you still have 6 minutes left. Kendrick, I was going to tell you something and listen to that last woman call, that caller. And it's very, very endemic in this country. The police does not take domestic violence seriously. Mm-hmm. And I can say that with confidence. And sometimes when you get those restraining orders, they don't enforce it. They are very lax about these things. The other thing is, our legal services needs a domestic violence unit. Legal services is in Trinidad. Almost every country you go to have a legal service department, and they will have a domestic violence unit, an immigration unit. And if you are a victim of domestic violence, they will work with you through the legal system. They will help you find housing, and they will get you a job if they have to. And they will help your children with childcare and school. But you see, we don't take any of those things seriously because it's all corruption and political. More people will die, more women will die, and more children will get hurt if this police and our leaders don't take a stand on this now.
All right. Well, I hear you, Ma'am, and we can continue with this discussion again tomorrow. But I just want to end today's program by quoting from a newspaper report here this morning. The report is saying, quote, "For too many years, domestic violence has been at epidemic levels in this country, cutting across cultural, religious, and socio-economic lines, destroying lives, tearing apart families. This scourge must be responded to as a matter of urgency. The onus is on every law-abiding citizen to adopt a zero-tolerance stance on domestic violence. That means never excusing a violent or abusive act, no matter the provocation. There is no excuse for murder or family violence." I only quoted here from an editorial published in one of the newspapers here this morning. Folks, on that note, good morning, people. Thank you very much for being part of the 975 FM Hot Like Pepper family. Thank you very much for being part of the program this morning. Let me thank Superintendent Claire Guy Allen for sharing her thoughts with us this morning. She's the head of the Gender-Based Violence Unit, and in the near future, I'll be chatting with her again as it relates to gender-based violence in Trinidad and Tobago. It's a scourge. It's a societal problem. It's not only in Trinidad, but it's a global pandemic, as one of our callers would have said this morning. Good morning, people. Take care of yourself. Before I go, I want to leave you with this. I want you outside here to pay particular attention to the lyrics of this calypso. It's by Singing Francine.